In this episode, we eat a sock.
Say it louder.
In this episode, we drink coffee out of Zach's sock.
There you go.
Frank, not me.
Tom usually does sound the best.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
We try to be positive on our podcast.
We're the Positive Culture Punks podcast.
Positive Culture Punks podcast.
Keep it posy, boys.
Is that our new tagline?
Keep it posy.
Keep it
That's
posy.
like 90s punk.
I'm not going to be
Tagline.
part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of it. That's our
Nothing
tagline.
but nothing but
It's
posy
terrible.
vibes here.
Keep it
Posy.
Keeping posy and two-stepping.
What?
Early 2000s emo, baby.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
We were not a part of that culture.
What
Oh,
is
well.
that?
Yeah, rip emo.
Warped Tour,
Rip
let's
emo
go.
music, yeah. It's on.
Dude,
it's
Warped
done.
Tour is last year is next year. I'm
I know.
going
I'm
just
thinking
for the
about
kicks.
it. I'm thinking about it.
Who's going to play?
I have no idea.
Not brand
I'm
new.
no matter, even if no, yeah, gosh, I saw
Rip.
that.
Yeah. End my life.
Hey, I'll still listen to brand new. You gotta
I can't.
separate the
I
art
can't
from
do
the,
it. I can't
the
do
art
it.
from the artist.
Brand new. What happened with them?
Their lead
Jesse
singers,
Lacey, the
yeah.
lead singer, got accused of doing some stuff.
Some bad, very bad things.
Is he the dude? He isn't by chance the dude from Lost Prophets, is he?
No.
Oh,
No,
different
that dude
guy.
was a pedo.
Yeah, because
Although technically,
Wait,
maybe
so
it was
is
Jesse
Jesse.
Lacey,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
It's
Jesse,
kind of like
yeah.
the 25-year-old
bad.
and 15-year-old
Yeah.
versus like
Ooh.
a 30-year-old and like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In
Wait,
my mind,
the-
the 30-year-old
Yeah,
and
the
baby
dude-
is
the dude
worse,
from
but
Lost
yeah,
Prophets.
it's still
It's like
bad.
the lead
still
singer?
bad.
Yeah. He got caught.
Jeez.
He's like in jail right now because he got caught.
Wait,
Are
what's
we,
that?
are we recording this?
Yes. This is
Welcome to
recorded
the
now.
Switch podcast. Let's cut out the pedo talk.
Yeah. What?
Is your mic?
I think it. Do I sound okay?
you're good.
Actually, thinking about it, Deja and Tandu listening to that would be kind of creepy.
It is creepy.
'Cause
The
it's a very
lyrical
sexual
content of that,
album.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really weird. Actually, a lot of their songs are really creepy once you, yeah, like Handcuffs. Like, don't want to listen to Handcuffs ever again. Yeah,
Why, Jesse? No.
yeah, yeah,
That album was my jam.
yeah. No, it's
Oh,
just I feel weird now.
The album cover too is phenomenal.
Yeah, I have their new album in my car, and I like took it out in my car, and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
I don't want to be seen with this.
No, it makes me feel so uncomfortable.
It's messed up.
Yep.
All right, host.
My name's Host. Host McGovern.
My name's Host. I'm the Phil of the podcast.
What up, people? This is the Pop Culture Punks podcast. My name's Phil. To my left,
Is me.
Josh.
Yes.
Is that your tagline?
On my left.
Oh, it's Tom. I'm Tom.
That's you.
That's me. It's me.
Your yeah, you're Tom.
It's a friggin' Dora the Explorer. I'm
Oh, I'm on my left.
I don't know. We just started. We've never done that
I started
before.
a
Yeah.
progress, yeah.
It's a really boring startup.
You're so negative. Usually I'm the negative one.
Hey, I said
That's
posy.
true.
Only posy vibes around
yeah,
here.
Well, then I'm leaving.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
what?
for it.
What?
You can do it. Do
Oh,
it.
on my left.
Me.
It's Zach.
Zach.
It's
Hi,
me.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
You don't know Simpsons well enough, do you?
I don't know.
I love
Oh, wait. Before
Everything you guys say just goes right through my head because I don't get the references and I just laugh.
Right through my head.
Because I'm just like, I'm assuming it's funny because
Because everyone else is laughing.
yeah, everybody else is
accurate.
laughing. So
You're a
I'm gonna
peer
laugh.
pressure laugher.
Real
Yeah,
quick,
I'm a
okay,
peer
Tom.
pressure.
We've
Yes.
asked every single person because we had Matt on last time,
Okay.
and we asked Phil this a couple episodes ago. What is the name of the Ninja Turtles leader?
Wait, like the leader of
Like
the
the rat,
turtles?
like the
Oh,
rat.
the rat.
Yes.
Yes.
It's oh dang it.
Oh, come on.
Is it Splinter?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Cedar.
Okay, this is literally what happened. Is so because we were Phil. I don't know how we got on talking about the Ninja Turtles, but Phil's like,
Yeah.
like the red one, Leonardo. And Zach and I were both like, shame on you. Then we're like, wait a second. What's the name of the rat? What's the name of their leader? And he's like, Skeeter. and then we asked Matt, and he was like, oh yeah, isn't it like Skinner?
It's like
or
Skinner.
something? Like,
Principal Skinner.
yeah, exactly. So we were like, we wonder if Tom's gonna. So that's gonna be our tradition now. Is every
Okay,
person
yeah.
that comes on, we're gonna ask.
We'll just ask
I'm
who's-
glad I
what's-
started a tradition.
When you get put on the spot like that, it's hard because
Yeah.
you're always like,
Exactly.
"Am I right?"
See, someone understands.
Okay, but like,
No, yours wasn't on the spot. It was much more like it was like we asked like, "What's the rat's name?" It was like it was Skeeter or something.
that's
I definitely answered it
absolutely what it
confidently.
was.
I was like, it's
Okay,
Skeeter.
okay.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, before we get into the meat of the podcast, I got a little game I came up with.
the chaff.
Me.
So-
Get through the chaff.
Oh,
It's
boy.
it's kind of like an improv thing.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
I went to the internet and did a rap name generator,
Oh,
like a
yeah.
random rap name for each of you three.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna tell you what your name is, and you have to explain why that's your name.
Oh, I
okay,
like
yeah.
this.
Do we
I
have to
like
like do it as a rapper would?
No, I
Like,
mean
that
you
sounds-
you
no.
interpret the question. Yeah, I don't know. That might be a little insensitive,
That- it would
depending on
be,
how
yeah.
you do it.
No, well, like if you've ever listened to like Lil Yachty's interviews,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you see it,
you
just
could sound
like-
like super spacey.
just like,
Right.
oh man, that's no That's how my name is.
You sound like Boomhauer. Yo, man, come on, man.
It's
You know,
no, it's literally like incomprehensible.
Yeah.
there you
That's what
go.
it's
All
fun
right,
to
Okay.
listen to.
So I got one for each of you. I didn't make one for me because that'd be cheating.
that's okay.
But you
Host.
can make one up for me if you want.
Host
Okay.
Malone.
Host Malone.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's easy to do.
For the hostess, I'm a savage.
So for Josh, I got Dala JK Slice.
Oh gosh. Dala JK Slice. Okay.
Dollar
So,
make me holler.
so the reason I'm Dala JK Slice, and specifically Dala, not dollar,
Dala.
Dala.
Yeah.
The reason I'm Dala JK Slice is first off, the JK is for my initials, Josh K.
That makes sense.
And then the Dala and the slice part is because my favorite snack in the world is those fruit slice gummy things. I love
Yeah.
gummy
oh,
things,
yeah.
but I wanted to sound tight. So I put Dala
I want to
and then
sound tight, you know.
slice, because I like slices of
Slices.
gummy
All right,
slices.
all right, all
Cool.
right.
That's
Cool.
You
I
know,
like it. Okay.
Dala.
I'm worried.
This is
I am
actually-
worried.
something
I'm
super
worried.
bad.
Okay.
Super obnoxious.
Actually, Tom's is the most obnoxious.
Oh great.
Sucker.
So Tom, yours is
Uh-oh.
Vile Tommy J Manic, aka Saucer Whack.
So where did the
Can you say
saucer
that again?
Read that one more time.
saucer
Vile.
Maybe just give him the books.
Yeah, here you can just read the book.
Vile Tommy J.
Vile Tommy J,
AKA
aka Saucer Walk.
Saucer walk.
Vile Tommy J Manic.
Yeah, Manic. Don't forget the Manic.
Saucer Whack.
AKA saucer wax.
What? I don't know. That's pretty fitting, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Well, Tommy J makes sense, right? That's like, it's my name. My name in a weird way, but
Yeah.
my name. Vile, I think. I mean, you gotta be pretty vile to be a rapper, right? I mean,
That's
like,
true.
Come on.
what are we
You're a
talking
savage,
about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Game is
I agree
vile,
with
man.
I'm
Game
gonna
is vile.
assume that I'm like my subject matter is pretty hard hitting. I'm just assuming.
It's manic.
Yeah, and it's manic too, right? It's
crazy.
like sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. I don't know. Saucer Whack, it sounds like a nickname. It's what my fans call me.
Saucer.
Saucer.
All right.
Saucer wax.
I'll
Because
take
I
it.
whacked
Why-
a saucer.
Why do your fans nickname you
I
Saucer
don't know.
Whack?
It just happened. Something that came into my
Somebody threw a frisbee
Yeah,
at
it
him
just
during
happened.
a concert.
yeah
You whacked it.
He got whacked by a saucer.
Saucer Whack.
Right
They
in
just
the
started
butt.
They started chanting saucer whack, saucer whack,
You know, sometimes
whack.
And then he just freestyled a rap.
yeah, greatness is thrust upon you sometimes.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it.
Sometimes saucer whack is the body.
Occasionally.
Sometimes saucers
Wait,
just
is that
whack
so?
upon you.
So is like the Marshall Mathers of you is Saucer Whack?
Yeah, yeah. I think,
Ah.
Okay, so
yeah.
your regular name is Saucer Whack, but then your rapper name is
right.
Tommy
Vile
J.
Tommy J.
Vile Tommy
Manic.
J. Manic, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
gosh, that's hilarious.
That's awesome. Okay, Zach, yours is Zach Scratch, aka Slow Shark.
Slow shark.
Slow shark.
I can't wait for the end of podcast freestyle. This is gonna be amazing.
All right, wait. What
With
was
your
it?
rapper name?
Zach Scratch.
Zach
aka
Scratch, aka Slow Shark.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Those are both good.
I wish I had an AKA. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't get one.
That's
There was a
okay.
lot of options, but they were
Dollar
like
JK
really
Slice.
long.
Dollar JK
Really, really
Slice.
Let's see. You know, coming up in the game, I gotta sound such white trash. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Coming up in the game.
Let's see. So Zach Scratch, like when I got my first deck, my brother was all like, "Hey, why don't you do something?" And so I just got my turntable, give a little. He's like, "Hey, that's good scratching, Zach," and I was like, "Scratch, Zach." And then I got scratched by my cat, and I was like, "That's a cat scratch, Zach, scratch."
Oh my gosh.
And then to top that off, slow shark. Slow shark. You know, I was scratching so slow while wearing a shark t-shirt. Hence the name.
You're just knocking all my stuff over.
Hence the name, Slow Shark.
Slow
Zach
Shark,
Scratch,
Slow
aka
Shark.
Slow Shark.
Yeah.
So now when you smell that blood in the water,
You can get away because I'm a slow shark.
you actually can't get
You have time to get away.
That's awesome.
That was good. I like that.
It's a good rap name.
So now every time that we do the closeout freestyle,
We're not doing that.
We're absolutely
your
doing
name?
that.
Oh.
We skipped it from on
Zach
the
Scratch, aka Slow Shark, on the
Slow
beat.
Shark.
Not right now though.
No,
Not right
now.
now.
Not
He's
yet.
like, "Are you kidding me? I'm holding coffee."
It's not my time to shine yet.
Not my time.
Slow Shark.
I like to play it slow.
I'm not like Roadrunner Shark. I'm actually Slow Shark.
Slow Shark.
That's funny.
I want to make a T-shirt for that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just a slow shark.
It's hard to
What would he
depict
look
a slow
like? Yeah,
shark.
what would he
yeah.
look like?
I don't know. I feel like you could do a couple different things. You could have like a shark chilling in a lounge chair.
Yep.
And he's just
Slow
like a
shark.
slow shark.
Yeah, it depends what your definition of slow is.
I like
You
if you
could
had
have, like,
legs,
Yeah, that'd be funny.
like human legs.
That'd be funny.
He'd be like what was the one?
Oh,
Slow.
Street Sharks.
Street
Yeah,
Sharks.
like Street Sharks.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But they got rollerblades. They're pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true. Take Street Sharks without the rollerblades.
Without a
Slow
rollerblade.
Sharks.
Without the
Slow
rollerblades.
sharks.
Otherwise, you can make like an old shark.
Slow shark.
It's like a rejected street shark.
Dig it.
He's like, "Man, you're nothing but a slow shark." Oh, that should have been my backstory as a rejected
You're
street
nothing
shark.
but a slow shark.
Rejected street shark.
And then I showed him by becoming a rapper.
Man, I couldn't ride with those rollerblades, and they say, "Man, you're just a slow shark. You ain't no street shark. You don't know the street." And so
You're really taking this persona.
I'm taking it on.
Slow
The
shark.
slow shark.
Slow shark's actually a pretty good rapper name.
No, yeah,
I like it.
that.
I like it.
Zach Scratch too. It works.
Yeah.
You'd have like one of those really poorly redesigned, like spray paint graffiti style street shark
Ooh.
designs.
I'd be all up for that. If I had like
Yeah.
if I had like
Like
Beastie
Thug
Boy
Street
and like
Shark?
Beastie Boys style
Ooh, yeah.
rap that, that'd work.
That'd be dope.
We'll drop the album fall 2018.
Wow, that's
That's
a pretty quick
soon,
turnaround.
yeah.
Yeah, you better get
You
cracking.
better start working.
I'm expecting a full 12-song LP.
No, you're just getting an EP.
Oh dang!
Ooh.
I'm just coming up.
I guess he's slow shark. He's got to
Yeah.
take
Slow
slow
shark. Slow shark doesn't go
He's gotta,
fast.
he's got to hone his craft.
Take his time.
That's got to be my catchphrase. Slow shark doesn't go fast.
Hey, it's good because if you ever like slow on releasing music, you can just use that as an
Yeah.
excuse. Like, man, I'm slow.
I'm slow
Exactly.
shark.
You're like, man, greatness takes
Step off.
time.
Exactly. It's in the name.
Greatness takes time.
That's funny.
So anyway, host, what about the Switch?
What?
Are we jumping into that?
What?
No, I got another question. Quick.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
You probably can't answer it. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything.
That's good. That's good to do. Don't expect
What's your guys' opinion on Pokemon so far? The
Have
new,
you
the new
played
one.
the new?
I haven't
Pokies?
played it.
Okay.
No.
I've watched.
Are you a
videos.
Poke fan?
I'm a Poke fan, but
Do you play every new Pokemon that comes out?
no,
Okay.
Ooh.
Did
I
you not
don't.
play Sun and Moon?
I
So you're not a
haven't.
Pokemon
Okay.
fan? Then?
No, I
haven't
am a
played-
fan.
Okay.
I just
You can't be a fan if you don't play
Yeah.
them.
no. See, I never bought a 3DS, and then like
Oh.
I pushed it off, and I was going to, and I always thought about it. So I have played them. Like I borrowed friends, but I've
Mhm.
never like I played X and Y, but I didn't play Sun and Moon.
I feel like you'd like Sun and Moon.
No, I think I would too.
It's got a chill vibe.
And then it was like the Switch came out, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait. It was like, why?
Because now they're
bother?
jumping over to the Switch.
Right,
so
exactly. So
It's
it's
true.
just kind of like too little, too late.
I hear that.
makes sense. What are your guys' thoughts?
I've only played it for
Yeah.
maybe like an hour and a half,
Uh,
it's
same
really
here.
fresh.
I
Yeah.
plugged in 6
Basically
hours
Sun
into
and
it
Moon.
already.
Basically, Sun and
Basically,
Moon.
so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So.
yeah, I would say I enjoy it. I think it's nice because I wanted to replay Sun, but I didn't want to restart my game. So it is nice going
Mhm.
back to it, but I'm sort of in that state of from where I am right now, there's not a lot of new stuff for me to be like, man, this is feeling fresh and new. It's just like sort of copy and paste of playing through Sun the first time, which I know it was initially, but I was kind of expecting. I feel like I knew that, but I didn't know that because I went in thinking like it was going to be, because if you've ever played Black 2 and White 2,
Yeah.
it's like I love that setup because it's exactly like the events of Black 1 and then you are like continuing that in Black 2, so like your rival is like a gym leader now. Like the main villain comes back. He's like not there at the beginning, but then he like comes back as a continuation. Yeah, rather than just like a reboot.
A reboot.
A
Yeah.
reboot.
This one's definitely more of like a rewrite vibe because
Mhm.
you're like it's the same exact storyline, but
Yeah, I'm excited to see the
Altered.
changes though. Like I know
Yeah.
Team Rocket Rainbow. I was like, I'm totally up for that. And
Yeah.
catching all legendaries too is
Yeah,
really
that's
nice.
cool.
But at the moment, it's good. Like I'm still gonna play because it's Pokemon. But
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
I'm sure it's gonna get awesome.
exactly.
Yeah, Giovanni comes in there and tries to like destroy you.
Love Giovanni.
Giovanni.
According to Jacob, when he listened to our podcast, he thinks I'm part of Team Rocket
I agreed.
Why?
I absolutely agreed.
because he thinks I want to enslave Pokemon.
So
You do? Oh,
And
Aren't
then I
they-
said, I'm not a part of Team Rocket. I am their leader.
I feel like Pokemon are
I am
already
Giovanni.
enslaved.
What?
they are
Yeah.
technically, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Pokemon movie with Evan. I went to the theater with her. And
Where Pikachu talks.
yeah, well, that was freaking creepy.
It's
Wait,
so
what?
weird.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
like,
weird.
Because
I've always
What? You?
It's so weird.
no,
I hate it.
I watched a video where some guy was filming it,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
"What the?"
Yeah, I saw it.
And the whole-
it's like,
the whole crowd is
theater's
like,
no. Yeah.
wait, did they add that?
It's like he speaks English
speaks-
at the end of the
Oh.
movie.
Like, I wasn't perturbed about it because I viewed it as like, this is how Ash hears Pikachu,
right, sure.
because it was from Ash's perspective. But it was still like,
It's so
it's
weird.
like you don't want to hear your pet ever talk.
No.
You don't
Meow-
want to hear
yeah.
Pikachu ever like say words, because then you realize he's actually intelligent and we shouldn't be enslaving
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Meowth has always been the only one that can
Yeah.
just talk English, but then to have any other Pokemon would just be like,
It's weird.
ugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I had to try and justify and explain why Pokemon isn't like animal fighting to Evan.
It is though.
I basically told her like, but Pokemon are like independent creatures capable of choosing that they want.
That's
want,
exactly
I
what
suppose.
they want to fight for their trainers.
It's like
exactly
when-
what
so
an
it's
enslaver would
mutually-
say.
It's like symbiotic.
When you don't have enough gym badges, they're not gonna listen to you. So
Yeah, exactly.
you got that Charizard on your
They,
hands.
they respect you.
They're like, man,
gym
get
badge.
out of here with that
Yeah,
nonsense. You're like,
exactly.
yeah.
So it's
gotta
not
go get a gym
enslavement. They
badge.
choose to follow you based on your gym badge.
Based off of merit.
it sounds like some weird political system in a weird
It's
way.
a weird
It's like
political
everything about
fan
it's
fiction.
strange.
Yeah.
Just like go up to a Charizard and he's like, man, I don't play with you unless you got 8 badges.
Level 60 Charizard.
There's a lot of questions you could ask about the Pokemon universe. Like, what are they eating? Pokemon. They have to.
they eat Pokemon beans.
They have to
in
eat
Sun and
Pokemon.
Moon.
No, they eat those
I
little
don't
berry
know.
cubes. They eat berries.
Oh,
Yeah.
the humans. The humans
Humans.
have to
Oh,
eat
the
Pokemon.
humans have to eat Pokemon.
There's no way they're
what do
not.
we eat?
They're
We eat
definitely eating
animals.
Magikarp.
Do you know what? I still
I would
am
eat
like,
a Magikarp.
Yeah.
I'd take a
would
bite
just-
out of a Gyarados. A Gyarados
That's
burger.
messed up.
I feel like that'd be
A
Is it
Tauros,
though?
a Tauros burger with a
It's,
glass
yeah,
of milk
Tauros.
tank milk.
Yeah, seriously.
Moo-moo milk.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Get a little moo moo. I feel like the one thing that always like really never sat well with me is the Slowpoke tails and Gold
Yep.
and Silver.
Oh, yeah.
Like even then,
Oh.
it's like,
See, that was Team Rocket though. I ain't messing with that.
Yeah. But you're.
but you're the leader.
I'm the leader, but I'm not eating my own product.
I just sell it.
Don't want to get addicted to the stuff.
Gotta stay clean. You never eat your own supply.
Oh my god.
Drug rules 101.
Imagine
All
like a
right.
Breaking Bad but with Slowpoke tails.
That's exactly. Like,
That'd
I'm
be
not.
amazing.
You never
That'd be
dig into your own
awesome.
product.
That'd be,
That'd
so
be
good.
amazing.
Jesse, we have to cut.
I wonder if it's like in our world where there's like certain animals that you like wouldn't eat.
Right. Probably.
So like, you know, if you
Bug
ate a rock-
Pokemon out of the question.
I feel like
Well,
they would eat
some
bug
No
Pokemon.
Charmanders.
No
Definitely
Charmanders.
I wouldn't eat Charmander just because he's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charizard meat though might be good.
Yeah.
Charizard
Shame on
burger.
you.
Shame
It'd have
on
like a
you,
nice
yeah.
grilled taste to it, like char.
Yeah. Kind of like an alligator.
It's like
or
constantly
something.
Yeah,
burnt,
like
yeah.
it's like it's a delicacy.
Yeah.
Charizard jerky.
Ugh. I wouldn't eat any Pokemon. What's wrong? This
Then
is
you're
terrible.
I definitely would. There's certain ones I would.
Well,
Yeah, I
all
would-
right,
I would
maybe
say
There are very specific ones that
I would probably only keep to like the fish Pokemon because
Yeah,
that's
fish for
the ones
sure.
that are in like healthy supply in
Right,
the
there's a
show
lot of
and
them.
in the
There's
game.
a lot of them, yeah.
So
I
There
need
are a
some
lot, yeah.
Zubats. There's too
Tauros
many
for
of those.
sure. You got
Zubat, Tauros,
Way
they're,
too many
they're all over the
Zubats.
place. You got a population control.
But I feel like a Zubat or a Golbat might taste kind of gamey.
I don't imagine.
Yeah.
it
you got
tasting
poison in
good.
it. It's
Yeah,
poison
it's got
type.
poison.
Yeah, I don't think I'd eat any
I'm messing
poison
with that.
type.
Muck?
No.
No,
Big old
that
glass
is-
of muck.
that's literally poison.
Oh my gosh. We took this way too far.
Yeah.
The best part of waking up is Grimer in your
Could you imagine actually waking up and there's a Grimer in your coffee mug?
and then you like,
Peeking up
just like
over the.
Oh god!
oh, and then like
Oh
the,
my
the
God.
shot could be like the logo on the ground, but then you just see like a hand laying on the ground.
pulling it up. That'd be amazing.
Grimer now in K-Pod comes.
Oh, God.
Oh man,
Pod grammar. Anyway,
that's hilarious. Now that we've decided what Pokemon we would eat, what's your guys' thoughts on the Nintendo Switch? It's been a long time.
Nice transition.
Remember
boss.
the first time we started our other
do.
podcast? We talked about the Switch for
I
like
do remember
half
that.
of the podcast.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were also really, really tired. So half the time we were just
Yeah.
like, man, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, this game's pretty cool.
Well,
too.
we kept saying we'd save it for like
Later.
another time. Yeah, for
just
another
never
podcast.
worked out. I don't know. I'm curious for you, Tom. When did you get launch or did you get a couple months in?
No, I got launch.
You got launch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What made you want to get it?
Well, I'm a big Nintendo fan.
Okay.
How big?
Yeah, how big? Justify your claim.
Oh wow, that's hard. Well, I mean, I just said earlier that I didn't buy the 3DS, so that's.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
But-
you're
no,
not
you're
in.
out. Yeah.
But no. But
the
Oh,
mobile
yeah,
is like
hang
where
on.
it's at.
well, like Zelda was like a big seller
Yeah.
for me. I've owned like all their consoles since 64, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I'll buy it.
So
So
Game Boy,
I'll
Game Boy
bite.
Color.
Yeah,
Game
I
Boy
mean,
Advance.
Yeah, and then like DS is when I stopped for handhelds. But then yeah. So like I'm a big fan.
Did you have a Wii U and a Wii and stuff?
Yeah, Wii U and
Okay.
Wii. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like all the staples. I'm a
Nice.
big Zelda fan, big Metroid fan. So like,
Ooh, so you're
Metroid
itching for
4?
Metroid 4.
oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Nice.
You know, Samus Returns just came out. On
I know.
3DS.
It was another reason I was gonna buy it.
Black Friday, dude, next week.
I know. I'm thinking about
There's
it.
some good
deals.
It's like
That-
$80
that Zelda
for a
2DS looks
3DS.
dope.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably buy one eventually.
And now
That's
that
what I
it's at
always
the
say.
end of the cycle, the games are gonna be a little bit cheaper.
Cheaper,
too.
yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So
Some
yeah, I bought launch.
used good stuff. Nice.
I
So
was
did I
highly
think all of us
anticipating
did.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, did we all do launch?
Yeah.
I think so.
The morning of, I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I pre-ordered on Target.
I think I remember that because you texted me.
I texted you. I was like, I got it.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
that.
We did a midnight release at our
Yep.
GameStop.
Yeah, I went to GameStop.
That was a fun, yet it was fun for us, but sad for other people.
Watching all the
that-
people who
Oh.
were waiting for like the 3 that weren't.
Gosh.
yeah.
take it.
Do
Because
you
you
want to
guys
share?
pre-ordered it, right? And then you
Yes.
Yeah.
stood in line.
We
Yes.
pre-ordered it, so like we were like sitting with a group of people that were just like, man, we can't wait to get our Switches, and then it was so like my sympathy goes out to these people if they didn't get a Switch because there's like a giant. I think there were still like 10 or more
There was
people.
probably like
Oh,
15,
wow.
20
Yeah,
people for
15,
like
20.
3 Switches that were the in units that
Oh,
they just
that
were
was
like,
that
we
they
had
just
the
didn't reserve.
pre-orders
Yeah,
and then
Yeah.
and so
these ones.
and the way they did it, I mean, it was fair, but I was like, oh, I would hate to be in that anxious state. They said they were gonna like draw numbers
Oh wow.
from a hat. Just because that was the only fair way, which is true, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I could,
That would
the
suck.
anxiety.
Yeah.
I would be so anxious.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we it was crazy. That whole day was kind of crazy. I regret because I went into work and I remember I sent you there that
oh
morning.
my goodness, yeah.
because I
Or
talked to the person
was it the
beforehand.
reservations?
Yeah, well, so like, this is one thing. GameStop is a great place if you get the right employee. And there's this
That
one
is
dude
very
there
true. Yeah.
who I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there right in the morning. And so he had this whole system where he's like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put $50 down on a legendary edition of some game, and because that's the transfer amount. He's like, word in the street is this the transfer amount? And so I was like,
Oh.
okay. So then basically I pre-ordered one game and then I had to call in during that day to have them transfer my pre-order to a Switch console. And since I did a legendary edition or something, it covered the base
Uh-huh.
price of it, so I didn't have to worry about going in. So I was like, okay, that's good.
It was genius.
Except when I called in the morning, I literally no one answered for like probably 2 hours while I was calling in. So then I had like Zach go in and
Nice.
I like when
do
I was
everything.
when I was getting my reservation, I was like, yeah, so my brother's actually trying to call. Like, he's probably called your store like 4 or 5 times now just in order to get a reservation. So if I could, did I just like ended up doing it for
I
you?
think
or
you
what?
did, or if I called you and then you gave the phone to the manager.
I honestly think
I think it was something weird like that.
I did have
ended up happening.
not that I was upset with you, but I did kind of like to the lady. I was like, sorry, he just really wants that Switch. It's just like-
Well, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world because then we ended up I ordered one on Target too as like a backup just in
Oh,
case.
Did you give that to your cousin or something, or
One of our
friend?
friends
my
actually.
friend, yeah, my friend
Your friend?
Bakari.
Okay.
He was, I think he was working when they were doing pre-orders and stuff, so he didn't have a chance to. But we just gave him the pre-order, so
Nice.
worked out.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It was a good deal.
I didn't have
was-
any problems. It was so easy for me.
Where did
Really?
you
Wow.
order yours from?
I went to the GameStop on State Street.
On
Really?
State Street?
Yeah, I just strolled in at lunchtime. They're like, yeah, we still have them. I was like,
Huh.
okay, cool. And then I waited midnight release. But then for midnight release, it was great because for GameStop, sometimes they do this thing where like you just go in and you tell them like, I have a midnight release, and then they give you your number. And I was like number 2,
Nice.
but I went in at like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And then like I rolled in at like 11:56, and they're like, "Oh yeah, who's number 2?" And I was like,
You're like,
everybody
"Oh,
else
that's
had been
me.
waiting there
Just
for like an
got here."
hour.
Yeah.
And they was
That's
like, "Oh yeah,
hilarious.
this one's yours." I was like, oh, "Okay, I
Just
feel
like
really weird."
Awkwardly walk out.
Just like stroll in, stroll
Yeah,
out. Thank
yeah.
you. Bye-bye.
Nice.
That was good.
That's awesome.
Worked well.
funny.
Yeah.
Nice. So it's been
Since March.
8 months.
March 3rd.
8 months.
Yeah, it's 8 months.
March to
8.5
April, April
months.
to May, May to June, June
Man.
to July,
Yeah.
July, August. Yeah,
8 months.
I had to make sure.
Yeah.
So in that time, what's your ranking out of 10? 0 being absolute trash, and 10 being
Trubbish.
absolute
Trubbish.
trash.
Pure
I mean,
trubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
0 being
Trubbish.
trubbish, and 10 being best console in the world. It's a high bar,
Yeah. That is a high bar.
and best console in the world literally means best console in the world.
Right.
Okay.
There
Like
can
ever
be no
made.
other console that you think is better
There
than
can
the
be
Switch.
no
Can we just have-
other.
You can say 9, and that's fine.
I'd say 9. Or
You'd
like
say 9.
I'd say 9 or 8, like 8.5 to a 9.
Okay.
I actually
I'd
would say an 8.5 as well.
Okay. What
I
would
was
you say?
initially thinking 9, but then you said best console ever. I'm trying to think of a console that I like more,
Whoa.
and I don't think there is one.
Okay.
Wow.
Uh,
Are you
Uh-oh.
only Nintendo?
Uh,
Or do you play like Xbox?
I
PS4?
Xboxed for a little while.
Okay.
I don't have a PS4. I don't have an Xbox
Okay.
One. I like.
See, we're all like PS4.
I'm like a PC gamer
Yeah.
rather than
Okay.
those. So
PC
like,
is hard to
You're not a
quantify as
PC
a
elitist.
console.
no, heck no. I'm a Nintendo elitist.
Heck no.
Nintendo
Yes.
elitist. Let's start it.
Master Race.
I like that. Nintendo
so-
Master
Nintendo
Race.
Master Race.
I would give it like a high 9 probably.
A high
I think
9?
if that's our bar, best console ever. Like, I don't think I like a console.
you don't
want
want to commit to the 10.
No, that's hard.
There could be a console that is better. That
Right,
hasn't
like
been
what about
released
in the
yet.
future?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how this ranking is going. Is it the end all be all ranking?
We'll say as of this point in time.
Yeah.
Then
okay.
I'd probably give it a 10. Honestly, like
Okay.
it's like
You can-
definitely
you
my
can always
favorite console
revise.
I've ever owned.
You can always revise at some
Yeah,
other point.
no.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 10.
Maybe Nintendo's next console beats it. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Dude, that would
Yeah.
be nuts. I
If
can't
they could beat
imagine
the
that.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That'd be
just like
dope.
make it portable, but it's like you can like extend it to the size of a TV wherever you
Oh my gosh.
It turns into a robot.
Just playing
Yeah,
a 40-inch
exactly.
TV in your hands.
Dude, that'd be spectacular.
Or do you know what? Or like
I'd be
turns,
such a fan.
it turns
Yeah.
into
Just like this huge thing.
Or it's like it's got like a projector that you
Yeah,
can just,
that's what
you
I would
sit
think,
there in
like
a
a
chair and
projector.
project it on the
Yeah.
wall and like
Yeah.
play it.
Well, have you
That'd be
seen?
dope.
There's a company. It's really expensive. It's like $300, but it's a projector dock.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's
It's
like
pretty cool.
$250, $300. I think.
That'd be kind of fun.
So I've heard
Fun
it's
to play
kind
like
of
Mario Kart and stuff with friends. But
Yeah.
$300, that's
That's a lot
it's
of money.
but
That's
if
a
it's
steep
glitchy though,
investment.
that
And I've
be-
heard it's
Yeah.
kind of like for the
Iffy.
price. If it was like $60 or even, I mean, it.
But the fact that the technology
cheap, but-
exists probably
Yeah,
means
correct.
that some
It's
other people are probably working
down
on
the
a
road.
competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I'd probably give it an 8.
I'm gonna bump mine up to a 9. Actually, I'm
Going
gonna.
with a
I don't
9?
know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite console ever, but I'm definitely gonna say it's a 9, 9.5.
Okay.
It's not perfect.
So
I do have some
8.5,
gripes.
9.
No, there's things
Yeah.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10.
I give it a 10. Yeah.
Okay. 9, 9.5.
9, 9.5.
8. So it's kind of like beep, 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 brum.
It's pretty even.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm curious for you, Phil, because so Tom,
Bless
like you said, you have been a huge Nintendo fan for like
Forever. Yeah.
for forever.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
the
that
same
was-
with-
that was
that's the
us
same with us.
too.
Our second system we owned was the Super NES.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then ever since then we just
GameCube
got
was
yeah.
like one of our big Christmas. We were like the year after the Wii launched. That was our thing. I
Game Boy,
remember
Game Boy Advance,
Yeah.
got a Wii U.
DS.
The Wii launch.
Yep.
Waited in line at Best Buy for it.
Dude, that thing was
Oh,
crazy.
We had a great Christmas story for the Wii. If we can segment real quick.
Go for it.
During Christmas, we wanted a Wii so bad, and like we were asking for it constantly, but our parents, they tricked us and they were like, oh sorry, like, you know, we don't have the money for a Wii this year. And like that was when we were going to like a mall to get dinner. We had just like
It was
they
like
were
some
do you guys
family outing.
like some family outing, you're like, do you guys want to go to any stores? We were just like, no.
I
just
can just
depressed.
imagine you two like little kids.
No, we were
Oh.
legitimately like, we're not getting a Wii this Christmas. But then I remember I would always stay in Josh's room like overnight just to like, you know, play
Can't
games or
sleep.
whatever.
You're all anxious. So we're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
let's play Pokemon or like
Classic,
let's play
yeah.
games.
And then
what
the
we
morning
did.
I woke up, I like looked over our like our railing on our top floor, and then in like our living room I saw like this giant box, like almost like half the size of the tree, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, is it a puppy or something?
And
then
this giant bag.
and then
Yeah, right.
we got downstairs, and then our parents like, all right, you guys can open these first, and then just these weird looking packages, and then we open them up and it's Wii controllers, and we're just like,
Oh man.
We freaked.
That's
Freaked.
awesome. That's awesome.
It was
Lost
the
our
best.
minds.
And what
They
happened
stuffed
was
the freaking thing with pillows. It was like
Yeah.
it was literally a
Nice.
bag like this, probably this big, and we opened it at first, and it was all our couch pillows right in there.
You're like,
So we were like, what
thanks?
is this? Yeah, we're like, I don't get it.
but
new
then underneath
couch.
underneath those pillows was true magic.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And then like we got our own games too. Like he got Metroid Prime 3,
3.
and then
Oh,
I got
nice.
Twilight Princess.
And then we
Nice.
had
Mario Galaxy.
as well.
Ah,
Did you
There
get
was
one
just-
Wii though?
Yes,
How the heck did you share that?
it was. We were
We shared it
good
pretty
about
well.
You're good at
Yeah.
sharing.
You reached. It was like
guys
you
were good
started.
brothers.
You started
Good
first. You
brothers.
reached a point in Prime when you could like save and take a break, and then I played Zelda
Yeah,
and took a break, stuff like that. So
Nice.
nice.
it's
Worked
a good
out well.
time. Yeah.
definitely.
What was your original question?
It was
Weren't
to you. So being. So I think we have a little bit. I will acknowledge my Nintendo bias is
Yeah,
like pretty
same,
high.
Same.
That I, as much as like they do stuff that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
don't stop doing that. For the most part, like I do think that they're my favorite gaming company in ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you not being, because is this your first Nintendo console that you've owned? Like you've had a Game Boy and stuff, obviously for Pokemon and for like a 3DS. But
I got an N64, but all we played was Mario 64 on it. I think
worth.
we weren't like big into it.
True, but actually,
Yeah, I think my mainstay was always the Game Boy and Pokemon. Basically, my only Nintendo thing was basically just Pokemon,
sure.
and I played the Game Boy Zeldas and stuff too.
Nice.
And then I think I got a Wii for Christmas, and I don't remember what games I played on it. To be honest, I played like a Zelda crossbow game.
Oh, the crossbow.
Oh, I
adventure.
remember
Link's
that.
I got
crossbow
really
training.
freaking
Yep.
good at that. Yeah.
I believe it.
Was that actually good?
I don't think
I
it was
never
very
played it.
good.
I
It was
didn't
basically
either.
just like you're literally shooting at targets. It's like it's kind of like a target practice.
Zelda
game.
Duck Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like Zelda Duck Hunt. I don't even remember what other games I played on it. To be honest, I can't think of any.
Everyone had a Wii, so
Yeah, so it was kind of like I think it's the highest selling console or something close to it, close
It's
to
up there,
PS2
yeah.
maybe.
yeah, PS2 is definitely highest.
But yeah, those are my two Nintendo consoles. Eventually, we got a GameCube, and I played like Pokemon Coliseum and stuff.
Oh,
but
so good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
hope they-
I was mostly
hope
just
they
Pokemon.
re-release.
Like I have like you guys have Nintendo bias. I have Pokemon bias. Like
That's
And
yeah.
Pokemon-
I will
on
always
Nintendo
stand
consoles.
by Pokemon no
That's
matter
fair.
how
Sure,
much
valid.
it degrades
Yeah.
throughout history. So yeah, I was
So-
mostly a PS2 guy.
So like Sony, I know you've mentioned like Microsoft with like the Halos and stuff like that. So having had more breadth of gaming experience, what makes you give the Switch an 8?
I think they did exactly what they said they were gonna do, and which would be a 5. I think in my mind would be
Like,
be,
you
it was-
automatically
it was
earn a
just
5.
it was just
This is it. This is our
is
system.
what it was. So what pushes it up for me is the consistency of game releases. I think even if it is just like Nintendo games, or it has been like they had Splatoon and Mario and different things,
Sure.
like the biggest games on the console so far have been Nintendo games. I think they're still working pretty hard to correct the mistakes that it seems they made with the Wii U and like actually get third-party publishers in and like pump out like good games.
Well, like the whole like Nindies program or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
indie
like
games.
I think there's like 100, 200 plus games on there just with like indie games and different things you can play. Like a lot of them I'm not interested in, but it's like
That's
it's,
definitely a step in the right direction. In
yeah.
terms of,
Like even if I'm
broadening the
not
scope.
interested in the games, there's a lot of opportunity for people to jump in. And I think the portable aspect of it, like I've always been a huge Nintendo portable fan. Like I've owned every console that they have made.
Every portable console.
handheld, yeah. So I think it was kind of like finally in my realm where I was like, all right, I'm jumping in. Plus, like doing this podcast and like being friends with you and stuff at the time, it was kind of like I was on the.
Yeah,
I was-
buddy.
You kind of like taught me the ways of the Nintendo almost. So then
Really
I was
hyped
kind
it
of just
up.
like on the hype train.
Yep.
And I haven't been playing it as much as other things, but I think it's still a solid system for what it is. And I think a lot of the critiques are just coming like people who don't like it are just people who don't like they just think Mario's for kids or whatever.
Or that they
And
just
it's
don't
like-
have it.
It's the same
Yeah,
game
they-
every time.
They either don't have it or they just think like it's for kids, which I mean, sure, if you're into like shooting games and stuff and you think it's for kids, that's your prerogative, but I think it's fun. So
Sweet.
gaming should be about fun and enjoying yourself, and if you don't enjoy Mario, then that's your thing. But
Yeah.
I think it's gotten me to want to experience more Nintendo stuff. So
That's, I mean, like, if anything, that's like a good sign of a good console. If like you want to go back and check out all the other
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
because
and I think that's a
Yeah.
big thing too for me is like it's reaching out enough now to like where people like me who weren't necessarily like Nintendo fans can like it's kind of like the new Wii, like everybody's jumping in on it, it seems like, and it's trying to appeal to more like gamer types as well, like
Definitely.
the people who have traditionally just been like Sony, Microsoft, and then Nintendo's like whatever. It's kind of like trying to get into that market, which I think is cool that Nintendo's trying to get a slice of that pie. And I think they did well. I think they're doing well because it's selling well. So.
Yeah, like stupid well.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what
I
the
think that was
sales
one
are?
of the. I thought I had him on one of the links on here, but let's see. I don't know what the Nintendo Switch has now sold 7.63 million units.
Jeez.
So
I wanna
in
say.
8 months, it sold half of all of the Wii U's they ever sold, basically.
Yeah.
No, I thought it surpassed the Wii U in like
Oh,
its first.
def-
For
I mean,
first year, for
First
sure.
year,
yeah.
yeah.
First year.
I'm talking like total.
Yeah.
I think they
No, I
sold like
thought-
13 million total.
Yeah.
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 So if it's at 7 in 8 months, like
Yeah.
it's definitely on
And
track.
you,
Like
you're not even counting the holiday season.
yeah, and we're
Roll
talking,
Yeah, that's
and this
pretty
is like
nuts.
during like a backup where like everybody who actually wants one can't get one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got the holiday season coming up. That's going to be like a huge influx. It's
Yeah.
basically going to be like the Wii, and it's just going to be like
Yep.
Yeah.
And we only have 8 months worth of games,
Right.
Mhm.
something like that. I was gonna ask you, Tom, because I know you and I have chatted a few times before this about some of the Switch games. So, which of the new Switch titles that have come out, so like Splatoon, ARMS, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, I'm trying to think of if there's been any other major Nintendo ones. Mario Kart 8, the Deluxe, anything else? Like, what have you felt about those? So you said you're a big Zelda fan. So then, like, did you jump onto the ARMS train?
Oh, gosh,
Did you
okay,
jump
yeah.
onto? We'll get, because I want to hear actually what you think, Zach, about like why you
Yeah.
give it, like what your score and stuff. But I'm curious, like what you think, Tom, about.
Opinions on the games.
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't you just go
Brief
for,
opinions. Brief
yeah.
opinions. Yeah, yeah. Because I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of these games.
yeah.
Actually, just run with it. If that's why it's a 9, like
We can always build off of it.
Well,
If it gets
or
like too
10,
far
I
off
guess.
track, I can like
Host
try and
will- the
redirect
host
it.
will.
I would say
Yeah.
I don't necessarily give it a 10 based off the games. It's more just like the
Interesting.
console itself.
Mm.
I guess that's what I was considering. Not necessarily the catalog games, which is a lot of what the console is, but like as a console, I give it a 10. The game catalog, I'd probably give it a 9. But like Breath of the Wild is a really good game. I don't necessarily think it's a really good Zelda game.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
You're hitting hard.
So
This is what we want though.
Two?
but it was a fantastic game. Like I loved it. So that one was like iffy for me,
Mhm.
just because I wanted a Zelda game, and there were things that I like didn't get that I wanted from it.
Mm.
Other games though, Mario Kart 8 is just like the same thing as it was for the Wii U. But
Just
I was-
more updated graphics.
yeah,
and
yeah,
good,
and like the battle mode's fun. I'm not disappointed that I bought it. I've definitely played it enough that it's like been fun. ARMS was like a very okay game for me. I like it. It's fun.
I still haven't played it yet.
It's conceptually really fun.
Mhm.
Like it makes sense in theory, but I think like there wasn't enough to it for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
it
Like
was kind of a basic structure. in
yeah,
terms
there's
of-
like no
yeah.
story mode. Like I don't know, which a lot of times you don't get in fighters anyway. But you almost want something like
There's no single player at all.
there is a single player.
It's like Grand Prix, so basically
Yeah.
you just fight like 10
Oh.
people in a row.
Because
it
like
gets
Mortal
cra-
Kombat has like
yeah.
a story mode. Where
Right.
It's like story, but you're
Right.
just fighting.
you want
people,
something like that though.
Yeah. Okay.
Or at least there's some meat to it. I'm trying to think of what other ones are there. Splatoon's
Splatoon
good.
2.
Yeah, Splatoon's
Did you
good.
play the first Splatoon?
Yes.
So going from 1 to 2, did you think it was a significant enough change?
That's hard. Probably. Yeah, I think yes. I think regardless, they needed to make a new one because the first one was so good and not enough people bought the Wii U that like making
Mhm.
Splatoon 2 was
Sure.
worthwhile.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Like they could have rehashed Splatoon 1 and it would have been like people would just griped about it because everybody's been griping about like, oh, all they're doing
Everything.
is re-releasing games they've already released.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, well, nobody bought the last ones, so like,
Right.
and they're good games, so they should do that. But yeah, I like Splatoon 2. I mean, like Salmon runs great. Like all the additional
That is
features
wicked
are
fun.
Yeah,
It's super fun.
It's really hard, but
yeah. So like,
no
it's,
one. When you only have 2 people, it's very hard.
yeah,
You need like a 4.
Oh,
squad
yeah.
team.
even when I've done the 4 online, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
it's fun though. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I still haven't played that one yet either.
it's a good game.
You're missing
catch
out.
up.
It's good.
Yeah, here you are with your Switch and not even appreciating.
Not
its
even
games.
appreciating
Jeez,
its
man.
full games.
So
And,
then
Mario's good. Yeah,
Odyssey.
I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. I do have things to say about it, but not a lot of bad things.
Oh boy.
I dig it.
It's a good
So-
game. Yeah.
So then, but a 10 as the console, because that surprises me. Because I was thinking about it, and I think my 9 versus a perfect 10 is because of the games make it a 9 versus an 8.5. But the console itself makes it a 9 versus a 10,
Oh,
if that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
It's clearly missing some things that it'll probably get someday, like some like apps and stuff, like internet and Netflix and things like that. I mean, I already got Hulu recently, so it's like it's getting there. I think more just like the concept of it is very well executed. Like it is a console and it's a handheld, which
Yeah.
is like everything I wanted from
Mhm.
it. And I think pre the release video or the reveal video for it, everyone was like hypothesizing what it was going to be, and I was very much like, I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off. Like I imagine it
Mhm.
just being like a Wii U gamepad that was
Oh.
somehow a
Mm,
and I was
yeah.
like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But then when I actually saw it, I was like, dang.
Mhm.
It was like you're
yeah.
like, yeah,
It like
dialed
blew
in.
your
Yeah.
expectations.
Right,
basically.
exactly. And I think like owning it met exactly what I wanted it to be. So yeah, I don't know.
Are there any indie titles or other games that you've played, or have you just been mostly playing the bigger ones?
No, I purchased quite a few of the indie games. Well, I bought Sonic Mania, which isn't really an indie title, but like basically should be.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I like Golf Story, and then like some other games that I like hadn't played that I'd been waiting to play, like Axiom Verge, and
Is that any good?
oh,
Actually,
it's so good, yeah.
I'm not like I'm very bad at like stuff like Contra and Metroid and
Yeah.
whatnot, so
It's very, very much. It's like Super Metroid, basically. If
Okay.
you like Super Metroid, you'd like Axiom Verge. It's a little bit more story driven, which is not necessarily always what I want from a Metroid game.
yeah.
And I kind of zoned out in the story in Axiom Verge actually, and then read the Wikipedia page to figure out what
Just
happened.
catch up. Sure.
But it's good. It's a good game, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I think I caught up on a lot of things that I hadn't played because a lot of things are getting released on Switch now that
Nice.
are
Yeah, I'm
catching
falling
up, so-
behind because of money and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many games.
Money, fame.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to play Golf Story and I want to try Stardew on
Golf Story's
Switch,
fun.
and
Yeah, Stardew's fun.
I want to play Splatoon, and
Yeah.
I want to try out
What about
ARMS
like
and stuff, and it's
Minecraft on there?
Doom
too?
and
I actually
Doom and
wanted to
Skyrim
try
just coming
Minecraft,
out.
and then Doom and Skyrim, and then Wolfenstein 2 is
Yep.
coming out. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like some of the games that I want to try on other consoles
Yeah.
are coming to the Switch, and I'm like, it's
Yep.
probably not going to look as nice, but handheld.
Yeah, you can bring it anywhere.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about that because, like, for me personally, I really want to get Wolfenstein 2,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I want to get it on the PS4 over the Switch. As much
Which
as
makes
I,
sense.
yeah, as much as I love the Switch, I think I
Right.
found myself more comfortable with the PS4 as like this is my first-person shooter system because it's like
Mhm.
I want the nice graphics, I want like the updatedness to it. Whereas I'd put that over handheld. Like I've never really seen first-person shooters as like a handheld.
It is nice. It is
You know.
nicer too having like the controller
Mhm.
because I play my Switch basically only in handheld. I never use it as like a
Oh yeah,
console really, unless I'm playing Mario Kart.
it's a good noise.
I can't do the
It's just a snap, yeah.
Switch, yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think with the controller, but I would just love to see what it like, how
Mhm.
it plays and what it looks like.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
might
I'd-
not be worth $60 to just see how it plays, but
Yeah, but I think for a game like Doom, I would be
Mhm.
willing to go on the Switch because it's just a simple like you just run and gun. But like I
Right.
think for something a little more story driven than that is capitalizing on like the hardware that it's being put on,
yeah,
I would go for something like Wolfenstein 2 on PS4
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
Xbox One. So
makes sense. Nice.
yeah,
I also want to get Xenoverse 2. Dragon Ball Z
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the Switch would be dope.
or Dragon
It's
Ball.
only like
It's 20
$20
bucks on
on
Black
Black
Friday.
Friday.
Is
yeah.
it really?
There's some good deals.
dude. If
They're
you pick
testing
it
my
up,
wallet, man.
if you pick it up, let me know because
Yeah.
I would definitely pick
I
that
might
up
pick
and play
it
it
up.
online.
I
I'd
might
play
pick it up
online.
for Christmas, so then I won't get it till Christmas. But
Sure, I dig it.
'cause
Oh, yeah.
some things I can buy and then give to like people to give me for Christmas. So
You're like, hey,
That's how you
you
do it.
should,
When you
should
get
give
older,
this to
that's how
me.
you manipulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
yeah, so that one looks fun. There's so many games.
Yeah, for real.
We already
games
had a
are ridiculous.
podcast about that though.
Yeah, yeah.
Too many games to buy.
Finally beat Persona 4.
Oh, nice.
you?
Well, no. Well, did you?
Almost. No, I got to keep
Speaking
going
of-
through the month, but
I mean,
I
you
was
could
gonna-
just watch. You could do what I
could-
did for Phil. Is just show. I could just show you the.
Oh,
could
did
just watch the
did you
review.
get which ending did you get?
I got the right ending.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually
did you get the
I
one
maxed
that
out
did you get the
Marie's
one that
S-Link
he's
as
talking
well.
about though?
Okay, yeah.
Where you talk to the
No, it's like the very, very end in April,
Yeah.
like at the very end of the year.
I'm not there yet. I'm still
Okay.
in like February, I think. I just finished the February exams.
okay.
Wait, did
so-
you play
Nice.
Persona 4?
Yeah.
Nice. Are you
So-
a Persona fan?
Have you had a Vita?
No. Okay.
How did
It's
you play
confusing.
it?
A friend lent me his Vita
Oh, okay,
to
just
play it. Yeah.
Nice.
What made you want to play Persona 4?
He wanted me to play it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then I played it
okay.
and I was like, dang.
Yeah.
And now I love it. It's great.
These guys kept trying to get me to play it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I think I'm gonna shelve it. And then I
Got
got
hooked.
addicted to it.
I
Yeah,
started
now my
it.
roommate's playing 5, and I'm like,
Oh,
gosh.
it is so. I think that's tough. 3 and 5 are contender for best ones.
Okay.
I really liked 4 a lot, but 3 was my first one.
Okay.
I played Persona 3 Portable, and I think I enjoyed the deeper story in 3 more than in 4.
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
4 is like the basis is like murder mystery and finding the
Yeah.
truth, whereas with 3 is like I love when games get a little bit. No, it's not even edgy. It's like when they deal with
I mean, you shoot yourself in the head to
manifest your
figuratively.
persona.
Yeah. So it's pretty
Figuratively
edgy.
speaking.
Yeah.
It's very
It's like-
edgy.
Thanks.
But I think in terms
Keep
of
it
like
posy.
yeah, in terms of like the character interactions and like building on theirs. I can't even be serious with you guys. Anyway, I could say that. Well, we do want to do, and if you'd ever want to hop in on that, we want to do like a Persona themed
Ooh.
podcast, and
Yeah,
we have
that'd be
our
fun.
friend Alex Barros, who's like a huge
Okay.
Persona. He got me into Persona 3 like in high school,
Oh, nice.
so
Mm-hmm.
that's been that.
So yeah,
trend.
we should pocket the Persona
Yep.
cast discussion.
Yeah,
But speaking of which, you have only played Persona on the Vita, but
Yes.
what is your guys' perspective on like the Vita versus the Switch, and why is the Switch capable of doing what Sony had wanted to basically do with the Vita? To
I'd
some
honestly
extent?
say there was a real lack of games on the Vita. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff, I think, but but it wasn't like the Vita games themselves. It was like I can go on the PlayStation Store and buy Final Fantasy 9 and play it pretty well, but you could do that on the PSP too, and like Crash Bandicoot and all
Mhm.
that. And there was a lot of good games like Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. Persona 4, like best Vita game, definitely. But other than that, there was none that I was like. I feel like for the Switch, I know I said like when we first reserved it that I will buy a Switch literally for Zelda. Like if that's the only game I ever get, I would be happy, and that's kind of ended up being the case. But I still got other games too. But with the Vita, there was good games and they were all fun. But I think besides Persona 4, there was nothing that like I'm like
It was
this
like a
is
system owner. Like you should have the system
yes,
for this
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, I think because I was thinking about this yesterday because I was going over that question, and it's weird because I think it's kind of similar to what you said, Tom. Of the Switch just does what it said it was gonna do, and I think in a weird way because the Vita wasn't a hybrid, and I don't want to say like that as if like Sony was trying to make it a hybrid. I think it wasn't a console, so you couldn't port games like Doom or Wolfenstein or Skyrim or things like that.
Or like Borderlands 2. that
Right?
just
Yeah.
runs
Well,
really-
it was like it was horrible. It just
Yeah.
it was like borderline unplayable. But I think that was to its deficit is how it wasn't like you had to make specific games for it, and no one was on board enough to actually do that. And in a weird way, that's kind of like what happened to the Wii U. Is the Nintendo games that they made were amazing and were really good. With like Mario Kart 8 was phenomenal, and trying to think of
Wind Waker
Smash Bros.
HD.
You should have a Wii U just for Smash Bros. U, like
Yeah.
in my
literally,
opinion. like
yeah.
if you're a big Smash Bros. Fan. But I think with
Charizard,
the Vita,
my boy.
dude, I'm telling you, that spam,
Oh, that flare
beast
blitz.
spam.
Oh, gosh.
Fighting games, I basically just figure out which character is the best at spamming.
Oh,
and then
Just
that's all he does.
You were the biggest troll.
Like,
of
let's
fighting-
play the flat one. Let's play the flat map.
basically. Oh my gosh, this is why we can't play anything with you.
Dude, we should play some after the podcast. I'm really itching.
We'll
for
see.
some Smash.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think in a weird way, like there were enough games that it makes it interesting. Like I have games on there that I play. Like there's like Final Fantasy VII that I have as like a old retro on the go now. I have Chrono Trigger. But like when I looked at the library, I think I literally have 4 games that are like actual
PS Vita titles.
PS Vita only titles.
Yeah.
A lot of his ports.
Well, and even
Yep.
and even then, like Persona 4 is technically on the PlayStation,
Right.
and you can
Right.
buy it on the,
PS2, yeah.
you can like play it on the PS3 and stuff.
And you can get it on the PS3. It's not
So-
golden, but you can get it on the PS3. So I think with the Vita, there just wasn't enough of a buy-in to make individual games. Because again, which is ironic, because the games that they did buy into, with like there's an Uncharted game they made that's like one of the best rated ones. They made a Killzone for it, which is one of the best rated ones. There's a few that they made that were like, people were like, yeah, this is really good, but then no one did anything with it. And I think it's just because it was in that weird mode where, you know, everyone was making the cell phone argument, is like, well, we don't need handhelds anymore because we have cell phones, which
Ugh.
I hate. There is no argument that makes me more irritated than that, because it's just like, my phone can't play Breath of the Wild. It can't. Like,
Yeah.
it never will, you know? And so, and especially like for how much a phone costs, it's
Yeah, technically your phone
silliness.
costs more than a Switch.
It's
Yeah.
it's literally 3 times the cost of a Switch.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, it's just
I've
lunacy.
never been a fan. If we're going into that route, because I know that was one of our points of
Yeah,
discussion, is like
we're
the phone being like the end all to portable consoles and stuff, because like phones are so high tech. My thing is I've always hated app games or like
Yeah.
phone games. I think the only one I've been playing is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Ah,
But that's
Duel
only
Links.
it is good stuff.
Have you
though.
been playing it too?
I've played it for a while, and then my phone is not very high tech, so I could not run it very well.
Yeah, and I have a G6 at the moment, which is
Okay.
I think like the second latest G model for
Okay.
LG. But yeah, that one's been really fun. But that's because it actually functions like you're playing real Yu-Gi-Oh. It's
Yeah.
not like, I think for any other game though or franchise, it's like a cop out version
Yep.
of that. So like Mario Run, for example, isn't that popular because it's just
Right.
you don't actually move him. He just runs on his own and you tap to jump.
It's a mobile game version of
It's a mobile game
Yeah.
version. And like I think even saying mobile game version of that immediately
Makes me
means
cringe.
it's a watered down
Yeah, I agree.
version of that game. So inherently, I just feel like it's weaker compared to like
Yeah.
a 3DS or
Yeah,
a
definitely.
Switch
Makes
and
sense.
whatnot. So
I want
Dude,
buttons
if-
too.
yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
big
Really?
the buttons, physical buttons.
Yep.
Dude, if actual video games like Star Wars freaking Battlefront, which is a different discussion, but if actual video games became like mobile video games, I would give up. Like, I'm done gaming.
Yeah.
Like if
Yep.
the Switch, like if there was a Switch someday and it was like, this is gaming, and it was basically just mobile games, I'd be like, all right, gaming's dead.
it's been fun.
It's
Yeah.
been fun.
Yeah,
So, but
definitely.
luckily that is not the case, and I agree
Yeah,
that the
thank
Switch
God.
is light years beyond
Yeah.
Yeah.
what a phone could do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue you could get a tablet and emulate games onto it, but it's just not the same experience.
That's
Still
the
no
thing though, is it's
buttons.
emulating.
and it's
it.
still no buttons, and it's emulating.
isn't
and you
there-
can't
I
emulate
ugh.
Nintendo games
Yeah.
really, or at least newer Nintendo games, because it takes forever to.
Yeah.
So
I just don't understand the hate for the system. Like, I just remember.
well, I think the most vocal people are the ones who like aren't gonna buy it. They're like the
Oh, yeah.
the COD fans, and like the people who the
They're
people
always
who
the
ju- the
angriest,
people
aren't
who
they?
argue whether Sony or Microsoft is better, and all like the people who just don't. It's like, just be quiet and game. Like, play
Yeah.
your games, enjoy gaming. Like, that's why we do this podcast, is because we just like playing games. And like,
Right.
obviously you don't like Microsoft, but it's like you're not like a Sony like hardcore fanboy. You're gonna like beat down someone who even says the name Microsoft or something.
How dare you speak that name?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, just like enjoy the games, but then there's like a group of people out there who's just like, they just hate the Switch.
Or they just want to watch stuff.
They really
burn.
have no
really
reason.
what
They
it
just
is,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
they basically just like their brand.
Right.
It's like Android versus iPhone, or any
Yep.
like brand that's pitted against each other. It's like, who cares? Just like do your thing.
Well, I think that's what's weird though, is it's like it's different than just like a console war hate, because there's I still can't believe that people are pissing and moaning over Sony versus Microsoft, but there's a point of like, Microsoft does crappy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were at Best Buy the other day because there's a laptop that Zach's thinking about getting that's like a gaming laptop, and we were watching like the little trailer of like, oh, all the games that you can get, and it had a list of like a bunch of Microsoft titles on it that are Microsoft exclusives, and I was like, that game got canceled, that game got canceled, that like literally games that are still in this commercial that all got scrapped,
half of
and
them
like
are canceled.
yeah, like
What?
Scalebound. I can't remember some of the other ones, but it was just like,
Well, it's just the fact that even one of them on there, like, you can't buy.
you
And then
literally,
on
it's
top
never
of-
coming out. Like,
And then on
it's-
top of that,
it's
the rest
dead.
of them were just like either racing games or football games.
Yeah, it was just stuff where it's like, yeah, if you're a fan of that, like, that's great. And I think,
Yeah,
you know,
and that's my argument, is that like people the most vocal people who are like against the Switch are kind of like those type of people who are like
Right.
Yeah.
like they play Call of Duty and they just buy the new Xbox every year because that's what they've always done and that's what they'll always do. And they're not really like gamers in the sense that we would call ourselves gamers. They're Call of Duty players, which I wouldn't argue is not a gamer. They can be a gamer if they want to be a gamer, but it's kind of like we enjoy gaming for the experience and the story and different like aspects of gaming, and we try to look at it from a deeper perspective and engage the medium almost as like an art form as well as a form of entertainment, and look at it from that perspective, which is kind of the point of the podcast to some extent, to open the conversation.
Definitely.
Way to go, Meta. That was awesome.
Yeah. But I feel like those, like, the people who are attacking the Switch are the people who don't necessarily like care about the breadth of gaming experience. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and that's kind of how I always used to be during high school. It was like, I'm not really interested in Nintendo stuff, but I was never on the internet bashing people who did. But
Screw
I definitely like know people who are like that. They're just like that. They're just dedicated to Microsoft for some reason. And I'll tell them like the Xbox isn't very good anymore, and like I have both, but
Yeah, but
I have both, but Xbox is like my Xbox 360 backwards compatibility machine.
yeah, basically.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always a balance too, because there are things that you should be critical of stuff in like a healthy way of like, the online stuff for the Switch and the
it's
app.
terrible.
It's
It is
dumb.
really
it's
bad.
so bad.
So bad.
It's so stupid, and I don't
Like the app,
understand.
For example, we actually have been multiple times and tried playing it with our cousins. Like we were all in the same room trying to do Salmon Run, but like the connection wasn't working.
Oh gosh.
Well,
So,
I
it was
think
rough.
that's one of the things that the console side.
Mm-hmm.
We have had so many, like for Splatoon 2, like with Splatoon
Yep.
2, we have two younger cousins that if like we're chilling on the holidays, we're like, hey, let's like throw up Salmon Run, just play a couple rounds. And we're like, great, we literally have the handheld thing right here. We don't need 4 TVs. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But then we try and log on and we try and do all this stuff, and it's cutting in and out, or we'll get 2 rounds in and then the connection dips and we're done. And it's like, I don't know if this is a game update that needs to happen. I don't know if this is a console update. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
But then you have the solo player experiences of like Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
and
Mario Odyssey.
And I'm trying to think of some of the other games that I've been playing recently, but just the stuff that I'm like, this is nuts. Like, this is so good.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's hard to believe that they have 2 Game of the Year contenders
Seriously.
in the same year of its console launch.
It's kind of unfortunate because both of them can't be Game of the Year then.
Yeah,
At
but
least
I mean,
in that big.
Well, then that'll be
whatever.
kind of fun to see though, because I think as much as it is like it'd be Zelda versus Mario, at the same time it's like it's cool because it's still just a Nintendo game versus a Nintendo game.
Yep.
I think there's almost like less like real knuckle grinding, because compared to that versus like if it was Breath of the Wild versus like Horizon Zero Dawn, then it's
people
like
would be so
then
mad.
it's like the ultimate clash between
Right.
Sony versus Nintendo.
Well,
So,
then it turns
yeah.
into like, which game company is the best? Is it Sony? Is it Nintendo? And it's which isn't the argument. And I think that's why I really struggled with my like what to make, like what score to give the Switch, because I couldn't just have a Switch. I need Persona 5.
I love my
I need
PS4.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I need The Evil Within. Like, there are just those handful of games on the PS4. Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out next year. Like,
Mhm.
there are just those few games that I'm like, I can't
I can't
have
live
that.
without it. Yeah.
However, I have every single Nintendo console I have owned. I have never been disappointed with owning it. Even
Yeah.
with the Wii U,
Same.
as much
Even
as
though-
a flop that was, I was like, for Smash Bros alone, that game was that system was unreal, And I mean, there's been so many titles, and I think like for me, I wasn't a huge Zelda fan. Like, I had played them on and off, but to get Breath of the Wild and to get as hooked as I did and to get as invested in just getting stuff as I did, I'd never had that before. And so that was like mind blowing. And I think especially for me, why I bumped it up to a 9 is I think I'm realizing how much I just enjoy difficult games in a way, and not difficult in the Dark Souls beat the snot out of you the entire ride, but games that just require some kind of understanding of the mechanics, and you have to be it's not like a brain dead game where I can just kind of go in and play Overwatch matches, which I mean, that's a phenomenal game. I would love if Overwatch came to the Switch. Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a dope system, and just how literally, and it's weird because I almost never play it handheld. Almost never.
Oh,
Like,
really?
It literally never leaves my dock. But I think that's because I associate games like that with like I like to be able to like sit and chill, and with like my Vita, now that's become my machine where I'll just fire it up, play it for 30 minutes and
Sure.
sit down. Whereas with the Switch, there's so many games on it that have like I want to sit there and play it for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
especially staring at the little screen, you kind of
Yep.
get tired.
Yeah,
I get tired after like an hour of playing it.
yeah.
I just like to lay in my bed and play though.
It is
just wake
phenomenal.
up in the morning.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just like
I
fire it
saw,
up.
I was on Reddit the other day and I saw a picture. The caption was just finally, and I couldn't like quite see what it was. So I like opened it, and it was a dude on the toilet
Yep.
playing Skyrim, and it said finally. I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Excellent.
That's
So
fantastic.
like people have been waiting for that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So
Which is weird though, because then again, going back to the Vita for a brief second, I think that it could have caught on in the fact that it can do remote play, and it actually works pretty well. But then, with like the Switch, it's like I don't need to connect it to my thing. I don't need to.
There
have
doesn't
it
need to be
stream
this
to
whole
the internet.
process. Yeah.
I just pop in the cartridge, which I love that we have cartridges. By
Yep.
the way, I
yeah,
love the return to
I'm a
cartridges.
fan of that.
You just pop it in, you go where you want to go, and bada boom. Like I
Yeah.
remember there was we were chilling with our friend Barros over the summer, and these two were duking it out in the car on ARMS, and it was hilarious. Like
Oh
as
my
I was
God,
driving our friend home, just like
Because he's
having them
nuts at
yell-
that game.
yeah,
It's
he's
ridiculous.
like stupid good at
Really?
games. Like he'll
Yeah.
like speed run. Is it Mega Man X?
Yeah, like Mega Man X and
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo. He can beat it in an hour, and he always like tries to best
Oh,
himself
dang.
by not just beat it. He beats it, gets every single power up in
Wow.
the game,
Jeez.
and like all of the E tanks and everything in like less than an hour.
Dang.
So
Yeah, so he's
That's
he's like stupid
Yeah.
good, and like we'll play like Mario Party and stuff, and
wins it.
it's
That
basically
yeah.
like, all right, Barros is gonna get first. Who's gonna get second?
yeah, you're
And
just
so-
vying for second.
Yeah,
basically.
basically.
just trying to get that coin star.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, and so just to have like a system that I don't need any futzing with, and that while we're doing, they can do that in the car. They can just as easily go back home and set it on a 50-inch TV and like play it and have it look
Yeah.
good. And
It's a
you know-
streamless playing game.
Yeah, exactly.
experience.
It's nuts. Awkward silence is my wife.
We have a special guest star
Yeah.
today.
Special guest on the
Yeah, she's
podcast.
just we're kind of taking over the living room. So anyway,
It's not
I'm
even
curious.
li-
Sorry. What were you
No, I
gonna
was just gonna make a joke about it. It's not even the living room. It's just like this block of space.
say? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
kind of in the dining room, kind of in the living room.
yeah, it's kind of a weird.
I'm curious what, being the Nintendo fans you guys are, what your top three favorite things about the Switch right now are, and also the three things that you think Nintendo should do in the next year to
Ooh.
improve the gaming
I like
experience
that.
on the Switch.
I'm curious to hear Tom's answer, just because you say as a console, it's perfect. Well, not perfect,
You've
but
dug
like
yourself
My
a
fa-
hole.
you
my
put yourself
favorite
in
10
that
doesn't,
console.
10
It's your
doesn't mean
favorite
perfect.
console.
It just
My
means it's better than
favorite
every other
favorite
console.
console. Yeah.
That's a good question. These are good questions.
I'm more interested in your critiques, but
Should I
both.
start with those?
sure.
Do it.
Okay, critiques. Well, definitely online. But
Okay.
there really isn't an online infrastructure right now, which is like probably the biggest thing that's wrong with it.
Didn't they say they were gonna like do that
Yeah, it's,
around this time?
yeah. I think it's supposed to be next spring now,
okay.
or like early next year. That's the word on the street. That's definitely my number one thing. Number two, I think they need more like apps, like I was saying earlier, just non
Like Netflix,
games,
like
yeah,
multimedia
Netflix,
style
internet, anything like that, and then like virtual console. They don't have a virtual
They
console. I don't know
need-
why
yeah.
they don't have a virtual
Oh.
console. It doesn't make any sense.
That's my biggest gripe.
Yeah, it's like, why can't I play? Like, there's so many games in Nintendo's
I just
back
want to be able to play
catalog.
Pokemon Coliseum or like
Yeah,
Pokemon
anything,
Stadium or
anything.
something.
Yeah,
like-
seriously. There's like so many games that they can
Yeah.
have on there that they don't. It doesn't
Mhm.
make sense. So I think those are my big things that I.
Three critiques.
Yeah,
All right.
but I feel like those are all solvable things, and that's
Yeah.
why
Mm.
I don't necessarily like.
Which is why it's a
Yeah.
solid console.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
take a hit on the
Yeah.
console because I think that like those will be solved. I almost look at the like March launch as like it's like a beta run almost. You know, they're like just getting it set up for holiday, which worked well.
Well, that's kind of what they did. That's what they
Yeah.
said they were doing too. And I think, like you were saying, Phil, that like it did what it was set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think for the fact that they were even like, we're not going to sell as many units
Yeah.
because we're just trying this out. And then they're like, oh, we did a great job with
Yeah,
this.
but
so
then
let's-
people got their hands on it and they freaked
Right.
out because it was amazing. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
a soft launch, and it like worked out really well.
Mm.
So I think they'll fix everything. I
Yeah.
have hope.
It's Nintendo. They're pretty like as they, in the words of Video Game Donkey, one of my favorite YouTubers. He's what is I don't know. He's like, because he's talking about Nintendo in one of his videos, and he always says that like Nintendo's like his favorite gaming company
Yeah.
in terms of games. He said Nintendo like does not know how to do business in the world of gaming, but in terms of like making games, they are
Yeah.
the masters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
They
I would
understand
agree.
the experience.
I would
of
100%
gaming.
Yeah.
agree.
Just
Yeah,
create a good experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
definitely.
They definitely hear people's gripes too. Like they've
They
said
hear them.
that
They don't always
hear-
respond to
right,
them appropriately.
right,
Yeah.
or immediately, as
Yeah.
fast as people want them
As fast
to.
as people want.
That's
Which is sometimes the discord.
Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. Now that I think about it, I think that's incredibly accurate because I think, and maybe is that like a weird result of, you know, I think there's been so many other things for other companies. You know, I think of like the Mass Effect 3 ending
Yeah.
debacle where people were like, we want it now. And they were
Yeah.
like, okay.
Right.
You know, and so they throw it out
Mhm.
there, like, you know, even the EA stuff going on with like Battlefront 2
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. And yeah,
you want to listen to Josh did a whole
I did
podcast
I
by
did a whole
himself.
solo
I wish I
video
could have been there,
myself.
but-
I was, yeah, I was pretty fired up.
That's so funny.
But no, but then I think like just recently they put out Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow,
Yeah.
and then Silver and Gold.
Yep.
People have been asking for those forever, but then at the same time, you know, I just think of like,
Seriously.
dude, for real.
Crystal's
I want,
best one.
dude, I want the Game Boy Advance. They need to put Game Boy
I know.
Advance.
Yeah.
They
If
did
we
at
could
one
get,
point.
if we could
They
get
had
like
the
Fire Red Leaf
ambassador.
Green on the Switch.
Oh, that'd be
That's what I'm
good.
saying. Ruby and Sapphire,
Just
Emerald.
any if they put on, they
Dude.
got to put on Game Boy Advance games on the
Yeah.
Switch.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and I think that's my biggest gripe. But again, it's a solvable thing, and I almost wonder if they're holding off to just have an explosion of titles, which
Yeah.
would be absolutely amazing.
Right.
If they have like a bigger market, so if they're waiting for next year,
If they were just like, oh, we're gonna release like N64, GameCube, Game Boy Advance.
because
Yeah.
if you think about
Your
it,
dream
I mean,
come
the
true.
Wii U has DS games, it
Mhm.
has Wii U games, of course, it has
Wii games,
Wii games is what I meant. Game Boy Advance, like it has everything. So
Yeah.
for the Switch to be a more powerful console, and the rumors about like the GameCube and stuff,
Right.
I would lose my marbles if
Same.
they had, you know,
Oh, like Super Mario Sunshine.
Sunshine.
like dude, Sunshine,
Oh,
the Pokemon
yes.
XD, and Coliseum.
Even
I feel like they're a
Melee.
little bit
Melee.
afraid. I feel like they're a little bit afraid. Like, because if they release GameCube games, like people are gonna go nuts playing GameCube games. Like,
True.
Well,
oh, we don't have time to play Switch games
yeah,
anymore.
no, but at the
Like,
same time, I
Give
think
me that
it's,
Sunshine, that
as
Coliseum.
as I'm thinking about it, I think that's really fascinating that their business decision is, and especially because like this is what Phil Ames said during the year, is he's like, we want to have games more staggered out so that
Yeah.
people have more of an experience. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So if you think about it, they're not gonna be releasing another Zelda or Mario for a couple years.
Oh,
So in my mind, for them to
definitely.
get it all out at once, that people are like, we need this console, and then for them to be like, oh, by the way, boom, just like all this classic
The
stuff.
fly comes open.
You almost
Welcome to the show. you okay?
oh my god! What just happened? That's awesome. That was the
It
greatest
just
thing.
well, because I was thinking of like
the fly
you know,
comes open. Whoop!
well, at first I was thinking of like the trench coat, but then the
That's
fly.
even worse.
I know.
then
I
you
just
said
thought of the fly.
Oh gosh.
That is awesome.
XYZ
That was the
Nintendo.
greatest thing.
yeah.
That was the greatest thing.
Anyway, gosh, how do I
Reggie
recover
Fuse
from
is
that?
like the
Oh.
game is good.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt with that.
The game
Just Photoshop.
good.
Like he's like about to.
Yeah, he's like, the game is good. Oh gosh, that's.
I agree. I
hilarious.
think Nintendo has been just like releasing things. It's kind of like as soon as you start to like feel the lull, all of a sudden there's a new
There's
game.
Or
That's-
I'm like
yeah.
waiting. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't wait for Splatoon 2, which is in 2 months. You know, not like, oh, next spring. It's
Mhm.
like right away.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I think in a way, as I'm thinking about it, we're such as a culture design. I think we've been trained to have things immediately, and I think it's interesting. You know that there's. I hope that the trend starts turning into people start taking their time, and you know, I'm assuming that Nintendo made that decision so that next year when they probably. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if like pre E3, there's rumors that it goes up, and then at E3 they announce, you know, they do one
Yeah.
of those
I
like
could see
Fallout
them
4
waiting,
things
yeah.
where it's like it's coming out in
Oh,
next
yeah.
week or whatever. Because in my mind, you're not going to have these huge mega hit titles. Like I don't even know if there's another major Switch game coming out next year.
Pokemon probably.
I mean, that's it. You
If it
know,
does.
and that's in
Possibly.
this-
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
and that's
Or
in the
maybe
fall.
maybe Metroid 4.
Maybe Metroid.
Like
Yeah.
maybe they are pulling the Fallout. Like they actually are like, well,
Yeah.
actually we have it all done. It's just
Right.
Right.
You know,
because there's
but
also
Season-
like Kirby and Yoshi
Yeah.
and different
yeah,
things too.
but there's
which are
these games that
smaller, but-
that they're gonna sell. But if you think about it, those games probably, you know, not because of those franchises, but just because of what they are, and having such a huge library with like Zelda, Splatoon, ARMS, Mario Odyssey, you have Xenoblade, all these things that it's like, it's just, it makes more sense timing wise that then they're
Yeah.
gonna come out with like, oh yeah, and here's like 30 Game Boy games, and here's like a ton of DS games,
Yeah.
and here's a ton of GameCube games, you know, and
people would
who
be
knows?
like overwhelmed with the
Yeah.
amount of content you can play.
I think they
Like
benefit.
I would be like, I don't even know what to do anymore.
right. They benefit from a slow rollout.
Yeah.
I think people.
I think
buy
it has benefited. Like people
Yeah.
are just itching, like scratching to get that Switch.
Right.
Yep.
Because even right
Yeah.
now, there's games that like I could buy, but I haven't bought because I have too many games to play.
Because you're like, I
Mm.
have no money or time.
Right.
yeah,
I buy
Like
all like
sitting
the
at work
main,
under the
yeah,
desk.
yeah. I buy the main Nintendo games, but like I don't know. I want to play Doom on my Switch, but I haven't
Mhm.
bought it yet because it's like I don't want to spend $60. I just
For a
spent
game you
60
could
bucks
pay
on
like
Odyssey.
$10
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, I could
yeah,
pay
exactly.
$10 on a computer and play
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
I hear
Makes
that.
sense. What are your? I'm curious to hear what your guys' three wish list things that you wish Nintendo would do, or
Virt-
just critiques of the Switch in general.
I think I agree with Virtual Console. Like that's just inherently what I want to see. I know when they did that for the 3DS, it was like they started off with just NES games, and I was like, okay, it's fine. But then like when they put on SNES games, I was like, okay, this is what they should have done. But it took a long time to get there, so I'm hoping that they do it a little more quickly
Yeah,
with the Switch because I think they know that people want this like Nintendo system so that they can play old games like that. So hopefully they just hop on that wagon faster for the Switch. Not like super fast where it's like, you know, next month they're just going to announce that every single Virtual Console game, but maybe like start off with the good systems and the popular ones that they know people will buy. Like, you know, along that route. Wish list. Second, for in terms of just like the Pokemon games specifically, I would love like a Pokemon Coliseum or XD setup. Just because I missed that. That was
literally if they just release those two games by themselves. I
Yeah.
don't need a
I would-
reboot. I don't need anything. I
Dude,
just
Dude,
need those two
just
games.
but if
me
they
those
did
games.
like a remastered Pokemon
Oh.
Coliseum,
mm.
I'd be all over that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So something like that. Just like if their main title Pokemon console game just is like along those lines would be like a much more story driven Pokemon game would be really cool.
Yeah.
Other than, I need a Fire Emblem game. Not Fire Emblem Warriors. I need like a new
tried and true.
legit.
Path
Tried
of
and true.
Radiance.
Isn't there-
Path of
Radiant
Radiance.
Dawn
Isn't the
style.
Fire Emblem game supposed to come out next year? I thought they
Is it?
announced one.
Did they?
Yeah, like back in February they had that Fire Emblem Direct, and they said 2018 there's a Fire Emblem game coming out.
Oh, I mean probably.
I might have missed that.
I
They didn't
might
like
have
show
missed
any footage of it. They just like
that was
said
probably. I think I
there's
yeah.
a Switch Fire Emblem game coming out next year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I knew that
So-
too. It was more like maybe info or
Yeah, right.
just some context to
Well,
it.
there's the new Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh,
is
yeah,
also
that
coming
too.
there.
I'm definitely gonna get that.
Yeah, I'm curious
I've
about
never
it.
played it.
I haven't
Shin Megami
either.
Tensei,
I
but
might be
I've
interested
heard it's
in that
pretty
one,
good.
though.
According to Alex Barros, he says 4 is really, really good.
Hmm.
So I might have to give that a shot.
Yeah. Is that your 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more just like games
Sure.
related.
Yeah.
I'd say. And well, internet too boost, but like I'm not really an online person.
Yeah, me either.
So it doesn't really make a difference to me
Yeah,
whether they do that or not.
I think that's the weird thing is, you know what my biggest complaint almost is just like consistency with some of those things. Is like when I play Splatoon 2 online, connection's great. I
Yeah.
never have any slowdown.
Yeah.
There's no issue. I don't have a bunch of like hiccups with the game not being able to keep up. But then when I try to play locally with my friends, it sucks and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so for me, it's the inconsistency of like the whole reason I really wanted that is for like us to play Salmon
Couch
Run.
co-op.
You know, yeah, do the couch co-op thing because that's the thing that Nintendo, as long as they keep doing that, they will have my loyalty until
Mm-hmm.
the world ends. Is like
Couch co-op.
just couch co-op,
Yeah.
just having the ability to just play a game together easily without a bunch of rigmarole and you know with it's like I'm not a big online fan.
Which is probably one of the best things about the Switch 2 is they're still marketing it as that kind of console.
yes,
That it's like
yeah.
basically saying like we still do couch co-op and stuff or not.
I mean, you
know?
can play 2-player Mario Kart with one system.
Right.
That's what me
two
and
Joy-Con, which is
Ben
crazy.
Putney did.
Yeah,
We had at one of the study days.
Oh, nice.
Like literally, I brought my Switch and me and Ben Putney went to town.
That's
on
what
Mario
it's
Kart
for,
8.
yeah.
but that's exactly
Yeah.
that's exactly what it's for, and so I think that's awesome. But I think just like consistency with some of those things and just investing more time into making sure those things work really well because you have a system
Yeah.
with the Switch that's so easy. Like they showed that in the launch trailer of all these dudes sitting in a
Yep.
circle playing Splatoon, and I was like, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be able to do that, just literally be like, all right, let's play. Like, shoot, pop it on the table and zip it out, and Zip it down.
Zip it out.
Spit out.
Wrong phrase. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez.
New context
So we're gonna
now.
zip it back up and
don't put it on the table.
don't put it on the table. God.
Just leaving it bare, wide open. Nothing fancy. Nothing.
Uh,
No surprises.
a little cold outside, isn't it, Nintendo?
Gosh.
Yeah, and then on top of that, game-wise, I think as well, there's a lot of indie games that I was really excited for that I think they announced a little too early.
Oh, sure.
I'm totally cool with like delays and stuff, and I'm totally cool. I would rather have them announce it, delay it until it's like ready to go, because there's been too many games that have been absolutely decimated by coming out too early. However, I think this is one of those where there was a few, I don't know if you guys have seen, there's that one where it's like a mix of Advance Wars and Fire Emblem that's like multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
So
Wargroove.
yeah, it's like Wargroove where you like
Yeah.
play against each other and do that. I was like, that looks unreal.
I've not
know,
heard of that one. Or seen
Yeah,
that one.
I'll have to show you a trailer for it, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really
like
good.
basically it's like you and I would play Fire Emblem but against each other. And it's like you have units and you can
And
pick
you know
a
I would-
class and stuff, and
I would bring the
you would
smack down.
you would decimate, you would destroy me. But there's like things like that where they announced they're like coming fall 2017,
Yeah.
and I'm like, really? Okay. And
Yeah.
it's, we're mid-November and I haven't heard
Right.
anything. And so there's things like that. And then, I know like Ukulele, they
What
couldn't control. And yeah, like
That
it's-
was-
I think
yeah.
what I heard is firmware with Unreal, the Unreal
Yeah.
Engine, they had it like ready, but then like there was an update with the Switch, and then the Unreal Engine didn't take to it, or like how they had developed the game didn't take to it. And, so they're waiting on that. But again, that's another game that I haven't touched. It's been on mega sales on every
Same,
other
yeah.
console, and I'm like, I'm not touching it until it's on the Switch.
I kickstarted it
Yeah.
like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
3 years ago. I don't even
I'm
remember.
actually, people have kind of griped about it, but I'm actually excited. Like, I really want to.
Yeah, what'd you think of it since you kickstarted it, or did you not?
I
buy
didn't play
it
because I kickstarted for Wii U and then switched
Oh.
over to Switch, and then
Yeah.
So
now
you
I'm
paid
still,
for it, but you never got it.
Yep, still waiting.
Will they still give it to you?
Oh yeah, I'll
whenever
get
it happens?
it. I'll get it. Yeah,
Oh, I'll get it.
Oh.
I'll get it.
5 years later.
I'll better
like,
get it.
someday.
Yeah.
Sitting by the mailbox in front of your house, and you're just like, it's coming. It's coming. I
Hopefully.
know it's
One
coming.
day it'll be here.
No, I
So-
think it'd be too much of a PR hit if they didn't.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been.
I mean, Kickstarter has had a lot of crap like that
Right.
though.
They've
so.
they've been really candid about it. Like
Yeah.
they've been very candid about like, this is the issue. This is why it
Yeah,
got delayed.
that's
We're
good.
working on it. So again, I would rather, especially in my mind, I'm almost glad that it's taking more time, because then they fixed the camera issue from like
Right.
the launch, and essentially by getting the Switch version when it comes out, we're getting the best
It'll
version.
probably be the best version.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
that so yeah, just kind of like not jumping the gun too much on some of their announcements, which I mean isn't like a huge gripe. Again, that's like a very solvable thing, and that's more just like a pet peeve.
And not always in their control.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Third thing, I'm not sure. I almost want to say, I don't know. I was gonna say like third-party support, but I think
They're kind of moving in that direction.
they're moving in
now.
that direction. But I think it's like very, 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 very specific third-party games that I would want. Like, I would love if Overwatch came to the Switch. Specifically because, again, if they could iron out and be consistent with the online play and the local play, it would just be so much easier to play together with friends.
Yeah.
To like all get together and go
Mhm.
play, at someone's house would just be so much
Yeah.
easier. But I could care less if like Far Cry comes to the Switch. Really don't care. I
Yeah.
could care less if, all the EA sports games are like, do not care one iota. But there's some of those games where I'm like, ooh, that would be really nice,
Yeah.
but I just don't know if they're gonna do it. Or like Diablo, if like Diablo
Mhm.
3, really like more or
That'd
less
be a fun one
Blizzard.
on the Switch.
Yeah, but
The
again,
third
it's like
person top.
that like
isometric.
top down isometric. You'd have your own system that you can play on. You don't need to share a screen with. Like
Mhm.
there are just certain games that I think it would be awesome if we could get, just because of the way the Switch works. It's just designed to enhance that experience, I think, in
Yeah.
my mind. But other than that, like I really can't think of, power's such a relative thing, like its strength with all
Oh,
that stuff.
yeah.
It's I don't buy that as
Yeah, that's
a,
the thing is like Nintendo's not actually trying to compete with
No.
Microsoft and Sony in the sense that like Microsoft and Sony have always been trying to compete with
Right.
one another.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get like in. They're trying to get like a different slice of gamers than they've always gotten. That's why they're getting sports games and stuff
Yep.
like that.
And I mean, if it's anything to show, the Xbox One S, or the Xbox One X, I was like, geez, all these other letters getting tacked on.
Xbox
Yeah,
One X.
I mean, it sold well. I heard it sold really well, but
Yeah.
I mean, we saw one at Best Buy the other day when we were there, so it's like they're clearly not.
you saw like 3
I
or
I mean,
4
I
of them.
think
Yeah,
I think
there's 3 or
the
4
thing
of
with
them.
Switch too is they didn't put out very much though. Like
Right.
Microsoft definitely probably put out like millions of units because
Oh, yeah.
they knew people would buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Microsoft was
even
more
even then,
conservative.
I was looking at the games that were coming out for it or whatever, and I was like, I don't need to spend $500 on this.
Yeah.
Like, I was at a point where I was like, I don't care what the Switch costs. Like, I want it. Like, I
Mhm.
will get it. And I mean, if it would have been $500, I would maybe not.
Yeah,
would've done
I
it.
wouldn't have paid
I
500.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
done that.
I would
But
have done it.
You would
I
have?
kinda-
Oh yeah, easy.
Really?
I would
I thought
not-
about buying the Xbox One X at one point.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
really be
Mm.
close to doing it for even because like I said, I just wanted Zelda.
I think
that
same.
badly
Yeah.
450.
that I did not care.
I think 450 would have been 500 including a game. I might have like
Okay.
I probably would have swung, but yeah, gosh, I just like I was looking at all the games and I was like, Microsoft just doesn't have anything. I don't want
Mhm.
this system. You know, whereas with the Switch, it's like Zelda. I was like, I know there's a new Mario coming out. I know there's a new Smash Bros coming out.
Yeah.
It's like I know there's new Pokemon coming out. There's
Yeah.
always gonna be something, and then there's these, Metroid is
Right.
getting teased to be rebooted, and dude, can you imagine what that's gonna look like?
It's gonna be so good.
Especially
Yeah.
now that we have like dual stick controllers and stuff,
Yeah.
and not having to do the like hold LZ to
Oh,
lock
the
on.
the
and-
L button.
Why did they
Yeah.
do it? Oh, they had a C stick.
The C stick. I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, didn't
Yeah,
they like
it's
update for Metroid Prime Trilogy?
Yeah.
Did they
you
like
use
update it?
motion controls.
Oh.
But even then, I'm not a fan
Same.
no.
of something that's like that precise, and that
Yeah.
if you're like missing it, it's
I like gyro aiming for like precision aiming, but not to do all the aiming.
Ooh, you talking
Yeah.
like Ocarina of Time 3DS?
Oh
Where
yeah.
you're doing that? That's
Right.
like
Even like Breath of the Wilds is good. Where it's just like I can look
Yeah.
around and then I can just like
Yeah.
precision aim with my controller.
mhm.
I couldn't figure out when I first started playing it why my
it was so
bow kept
jittery.
like jittering all over the place. I'm like,
'Cause
why,
it-
like,
you're
why
like,
am
"This
I
is
terrible
stupid."
at aiming? This is garbage.
Like, all right,
And
yeah.
then I was like, frick, and I turned off
I
the
just
setting,
drank 5
and then I
rock stars
realized-
and you see your hands.
Yeah, I'm like, am I
shaking?
shaking or something? I'm like, why is Link all over the place? But then I figured out it was doing the
Yeah.
whole gyroscope thingy.
It's good.
I'm not good at that.
Oh, it's I like
I'm
it so
not
much
either.
better.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
We'll
Not
need
a
to do
fan.
another podcast about just like Zelda straight up.
Yeah, I have a lot.
'Cause I
of-
wanna-
we could do
I
Zelda.
I want to hear your
podcast.
opinions
a lot of
because
opinions.
I thoroughly enjoyed Breath of the Wild,
I did
even though
too.
I'm a huge Zelda fan.
Yeah.
But I actually do see because at first I was kind of like not a Zelda, but like that I think is why it has such mass appeals because it's like the least Zelda
yeah,
game
there's like
to ever come out.
very few things about
Mhm.
it that are like this is a Zelda game. Besides like the Master Sword and like
The clothes.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
The aesthetics are like Zelda-y,
yeah.
but it doesn't have the same mechanics that a
Yeah.
lot of Zelda games.
even
seem
the
to have.
clothes though. He
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
even wear
true,
a
yeah.
green tunic the whole time.
you don't
you
want
were,
you don't
you were
even
salty about that, weren't you?
No, it's fine. Like I welcome change. I'm glad that they did something new, but it's just like parts of it. It's like
it was a huge I think like
where's my hook shot?
hook shot.
Mm.
I'm trying to think. Where's my musical instrument
Yeah,
to play?
See, I feel like I would feel
That would have been. That's kind of weird to think about it though. That like if you didn't know that those things were in there at all,
oh yeah,
you would never be like, but that's such a crucial part. Like, why am I
Right,
not
yeah.
playing Epana's song to get her
Right,
here?
right.
Like,
Or
what's
like
going
one thing I
on?
can think of too is even though there's like 4 main temples, they don't change up the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Whereas in old Zelda games, it was always cool seeing
really
like
distinct. Yeah,
really distinct temples that had their formula and your method
Yep.
of like you need to learn the landscape
Yep.
in order to master it. Whereas for these, it's just
Yeah.
like you go in a giant monster's
Yep.
body and
Yeah,
figure it out. But it was still I still enjoyed it.
it was
though,
so cool. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
it's kind of the trade-off between like a more structured game versus a more
Yeah.
open
right.
Oh, definitely.
open world
yeah,
game. You
The
have to
things it
trade a
did
little
well,
bit
it
of
did
the-
really well.
definitely.
But where was the Triforce?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Wow.
that?
What is
Wow,
What is
he's
up
blowing,
with it?
He's blowing.
What's
our
up with
minds here.
that?
I was just like
What's
the
up
whole
with
time I was
that?
like, what's going on? I don't
No,
know.
there's like, and I definitely agree. There's just like elements that don't, and I think that's for the most part, I can live without them.
Yeah,
even though
same,
it's but it is like as a Zelda fan, it's like doesn't have this,
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Kind of wish it had this, but it's still amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still a great
100%.
game.
And
yeah.
people have been saying the same thing about Mario Odyssey, like
Yeah.
because it doesn't have the mushrooms, it doesn't have the power ups, it
Sure.
doesn't have the traditional like failing mechanic because you have the
Right,
hearts
right,
and
right.
stuff. But overall, it's like a good game
Still
and it plays.
fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great game.
So
Things I don't like about that game too, but it's like you're just being
Whoa.
nitpicky at that point.
yeah,
yeah, it's more of like nitpicks than
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
like an actual like takedown of the
Right,
game itself.
right.
because you're almost like basing your opinions off of your nostalgia, and you're like,
Right.
this is what a Mario game should be,
Right.
not so
Right.
much like this is the new Mario
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
You're much
Yeah.
more like, well, this isn't like N64, this isn't like
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunshine or Galaxy.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm sure I'd do
Dude,
that with a new
Sunshine
Pokemon
2.
game.
I hope that's the. I hope
That'd be
there's a
dope.
Sunshine
I would
2
love.
sequel.
I love
Yeah,
Sunshine
that'd
so
be great.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. That's
So
why I go
good.
Back. Just want to go back to Al Delfino.
So
I want to be. I want to be able to do the infinite slide.
Yeah, yeah.
Infinite water slide. I mean, they kind of did that with the roll.
Oh yeah.
That you could do
Infinite
that.
roll, baby.
That's pretty sweet.
I just like dressing up Mario and all the crazy
Yeah.
Oh, I
pickups.
love that.
Mario's so cute.
The best.
I dig the
He's so cute.
He is.
yeah,
He
I
is,
love
he's-
like getting gosh, which one did I get? I got like the car mechanic one for the
Oh,
one.
okay,
like,
yeah.
I
Rust
love.
World
I
or
think my
whatever.
favorite one is like the little sailor outfit you can get
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
water
yeah,
place.
yeah.
I'm always like, when I got that from him, I was definitely like, oh, look at these little,
Yeah.
he was the
Look at his
button.
little outfit.
Yeah.
His little sailor outfit. Yeah.
I think I was running around with the pirate outfit.
The pirate one's good.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of that.
Dang,
I've
I haven't gotten
definitely-
any outfits yet.
What?
What?
Dude,
you
that's
go
like
to
a
the
big-
shops?
Yeah.
I went to the shop, but I didn't have enough money.
You get the purple coins, man.
You got to
The
explore.
purple. I got like the little diamond coins, whatever that is.
Which
Yeah.
level are you on?
I'm on the second
Fossil
level.
Falls.
I
Oh,
think.
okay. So you're not
Yeah,
far.
I'm not very far.
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah, you're getting.
Yeah, well, then you can't
I'm
talk
falling
about
behind.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the host. I have no opinions.
Well, then you can't talk about it, can you?
it. I definitely like now that I've been in, like I always play with the Mario 64 outfit.
Oh yeah.
It just feels so.
I Waluigi.
You Waluigi.
Yeah.
There's a Waluigi outfit.
Yep.
Wait at the end.
You
Dude,
can get
that's
like you can get like Luigi, Waluigi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh, I
good
need a new
stuff.
Strikers game. That's what I need.
Oh yeah, Mario Party. That's my.
Yes.
Ooh,
But
Mario
not
Party.
like this new Mario Party that's coming for 3DS.
Yeah.
Well, that one came out already.
What's-
I
The
think.
top
it did.
100
Yeah.
or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
It's a cool concept, but like I hate. It's like what you were saying before. I like want to play on the couch, same screen with everybody.
Yeah,
like I
that's,
don't
like,
want.
That's what
like,
Mario
definitely.
Party is.
Yeah, like why are you playing Mario Party with separate
Yeah.
screens?
They
It
should.
doesn't
Yeah,
make
they
any
definitely should
sense.
have ported that to
Yeah,
the
it
Switch.
doesn't make sense to me. But
I mean, it could be cool to have a Mario Party with like a Switch concept of like,
yeah,
if you even if they had, but again, I think what I want them to, if they were to do that, have different modes instead of just like, well, this is just how it is. There's
Right.
like one big TV and then the other
Yeah.
3 people use their own.
Mhm.
Like have it where you
Oh,
could do
yeah,
something
yeah.
where maybe there's like a
Well, and you
RPG style like board game,
Right.
like Board Master, and then like they're like the
Oh,
big
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
You know, or like maybe they have their own Switch and everyone else is on the, I don't know.
Right.
There's like a ton
Things
of stuff
like
that they
that.
could do.
And like knowing them, they will probably innovate it somehow to be like
Yeah.
if you're playing with multiple people, you can use your Switch
Right,
for
yeah.
a certain
right.
game or whatever, which would be really fun. to
Right.
see.
it's a perfect console for it though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the Joy-Cons are the perfect controllers for Mario Party mini games too.
Yeah,
There's like
definitely.
motion controls in them. You don't really need like
Crazy
the-
precision
yeah,
and stuff.
it's
It's kind
like-
of goofy.
yeah,
and-
it's like okay, this is perfect.
Yeah.
dude,
Someday.
Mario Party is like my favorite game to hate.
Yeah, same.
like that
Yeah.
I love.
It's
100%.
terrible. They're terrible games, but they're
they're
so
so-
fun.
Yeah.
It's all about
It's the
stealing the
reason
stars
for-
to win.
Mario Party is the reason why we always call our cousin JT a wiener because like he always plays Mario and he's like I'm the wiener
We're like,
and he always
yeah.
like always wins too.
Oh, really?
So we're just
Okay.
like you're the wiener,
We're
Jordan.
like, you're the wiener.
You're the wiener.
Very,
That's
well,
hilarious.
very good.
Yeah, alright.
Dude, those games.
I can't wait for us to
funny.
come back like a year, half a year from now and just
Yeah.
be like talking about all these games
Oh,
we're
yeah.
wishing for
Mm-hmm.
someday.
Yeah.
They'll probably
someday.
announce them all in
Yeah.
like a month, and then we'll just be like, okay.
Then we're just
Telling
like,
you.
all right, we're coming back.
Yeah.
This next E3, this XE3 is
Oh,
gonna
it's
be
gonna be crazy.
bananas for
Mhm.
Nintendo. I
They had a
hope.
great E3 this year.
Yeah.
Like one of their best ones in a long
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
True that.
We'll see what happens.
But when you drop Pokemon, it's like, everyone's
Oh,
gonna be
dude,
like,
yeah.
Everyone's gonna go nuts.
And they
It's
didn't,
the-
they didn't
it's
even
the
like
new
drop
Pokemon
it. It was
game.
like they snuck it
Yeah.
in at the end. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we're making a Pokemon
Creators
game.
just
Everybody's
said-
like,
Creators just sitting at a desk like, yeah, we're gonna put it out on the console,
Yeah,
so look
yeah.
forward to that.
yeah, it's so casual. We're like,
I just
I can't breathe.
want to know what it's gonna be. Is
I
it gonna be
know.
like a Platinum reboot? Is it gonna be a Coliseum style?
See,
Is
that's
it
one of
gonna
those
be-
things where like I'll be like you with Zelda, where like if they release like a Coliseum, I'll be like, oh, I wish it was like a mainline Pokemon
Oh,
game.
yeah.
But it's like at the same time, I'm playing like Pokemon on
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. this
So no
is-
matter what it
that's
ends up
gonna be-
being, I'm gonna be like, oh,
Can you imagine Pokemon battles against your butt? Like that would be the first time in a long time that I would absolutely gear out my squad for battling my friends.
yeah.
Oh,
I've never really like
yeah,
been
yeah.
into like the battling
100%.
friends
Yes.
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
But I
would
think with the Switch,
absolutely-
I'd come over and we'd duke it out.
We duke it.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Duke it out.
Oh yeah.
Because they have those quadruple battles now too,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
could get like
Ooh,
4 people on it. And
That
just,
gets
like,
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
quadruple
that'd
battles
be
are
That'd be
ridiculous.
hilarious.
It's like Smash Bros. Though, where you just gang up on somebody though.
That's basically what happens.
whoever's
Yeah.
winning, like they're winning. I'm only like 10 points ahead.
yeah. I only have one more life than you.
It's all
That's
good.
one.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited.
Needless to say, it's a fun system.
I just
Yeah.
want something like Gold and Silver, where like there's more than one region.
I am crossing my fingers as tightly as I can so that it is a game with every single gen.
That'd be crazy.
I
Like,
would,
yeah.
I would literally die.
Like,
I wouldn't even be able to play it because I would be
Yeah.
dead. But I would die.
I would. No, I would.
I've
too.
been
That's
asking
like,
them for this since the second game came out, and they did that with Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
That's literally been every kid's dream that's played Pokemon is like to just be
All
able
the
to.
regions.
What I would love to see is like not even just do that, but if they made it like almost 16-bit style, like Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire, so it'd be easy to program and make.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like the old
It's
school
huge.
graphics, and you
Yeah.
can just go to every area, like
Oh.
Alola, you know,
Mhm.
It'd be
Kanto,
cool if you could
Johto.
like pick your starting region too.
dude.
Ooh.
Like you get to decide
Now
where
you're
you start.
talking.
Yeah.
Now you're
It's
talking.
kind of like the Project Octopath. You can
Yeah,
like
yeah,
choose who you want to
yeah.
start as,
That's a cool
Yeah.
game.
but like instead of like different characters,
Yeah.
you start as like whatever starter you want, and then your
Ooh.
story kind of like
Oh.
alters based on.
like which
Oh.
region you choose.
Yeah, and then depending on what region you're in, you have like different rivals based
We're
on.
giving this to you,
Yeah.
Nintendo. Just
Just
do
take
it.
it. Just take. We don't even want money for it.
We don't
Just
even-
take it.
Just
Yeah.
take it. Just take it.
All we want is the game.
All right.
Yes, correct.
They
That's
probably
payment
think
enough.
about this already. Though.
Yeah,
I hope.
seriously.
I mean, they've been hearing it from. That's like the number one request from Pokemon fans since
Right.
like forever.
like
so.
a multi-region game. Yeah.
Now they've got the console with the juice.
True.
Finally
Yeah.
to put behind it.
If they can make Breath of the Wild, they can make all region Pokemon.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
So
Dude, open world.
I mean,
Pokemon.
even
Could
the-
you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Breath of the Wild, but as a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
doesn't
Like
make
literally
sense.
being able to like go
I
to a
can't wrap my head
mountain
around
and then
it.
like find
Yeah.
grass.
it's
and
like
then-
too amazing of a concept. to
Oh my
understand.
gosh, that would just. Oh,
Yeah. It'd be awesome
my brain is hurting right now.
because they've already
thinking
done it
about
with games like Dragon Quest. It has like a similar style where you
Oh,
like
yeah.
encounter battles and stuff in the wild. Like
Yeah.
just do the similar 3D modeling and scale it up to the Switch level graphics and boom.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
I
you
agree.
got Pokemon like running through the fields like freaking Tauros.
Oh,
Shoot one
Chase
down, make some
after 'em.
burgers.
shoot one down.
Hey,
Tauros
you gotta
burgers.
eat. You gotta cook them on your little
Yep.
cooking pot. Like
Grab your hunting gun.
Link appears, bow
Yeah.
and arrow.
Oh.
head.
It's like
Yeah.
like a Tauros head, just like
You got a Tauros head and a slowpoke tail and some magic cards.
makes that like little cooking tune. Wants it.
It
Yeah.
turns into a completely different game, but it's like Pokemon.
Like
It's like Breath of the Wild, literally, but
like-
Pokemon skins.
All
It's
it's
like-
like all the monsters turn into Pokemon.
Oh my god.
It's like instead of Cabela's big game hunting, it's
Yeah.
like Pokemon's big game.
Oh gosh. Oh no, the arcades. You just shooting Charizards down.
Link's,
Pull.
Link's
Oh,
Pokemon hunting training.
oh god.
Oh lord.
Nintendo crossovers nobody ever asked for.
Dude, that would
Nintendo's gonna be like, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
We're on it.
We're on it.
or like
No.
I
That's
was
not
just
what we
thinking.
want.
Did you guys ever play that? It's pretty recent, so I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't. But the Persona Dance All Night game.
Oh,
that
but with
rhythm
like
game
Pokemon.
for, like Pokemon characters, like Pokemon Dance All Night.
Oh my
Oh
god.
geez.
Yes. All right. Do you know what's really sad?
Yeah, that's all I can.
Oh, I would. Because I loved you. That's terrible. I don't
so
know why
cheesy
they.
and
It's
so
terrible.
terrible.
Does it
Look
like
it
kind
up.
of? Does it actually come out of the blue?
I didn't see the movie.
Oh.
I just saw the clip online.
They're like laying there, and Ash is like dying.
He asked him why,
And he's
he
like,
never
why
goes in his
don't you, why won't
Pokeball."
you go in your Pokeball? And it just pans to Pikachu's face, like dying next to him. Because I always loved you.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely not why you weren't going in there. You just didn't want to go in. You
Like,
can't
let's be
change
real-
the
let's be real,
story.
Pikachu. You gotta be honest, man.
I mean,
Real talk.
yeah, but it was
Yeah.
creepy.
It was
It's like
horrifying.
finding out your dog can talk.
Yeah. It's like, why hadn't he talked earlier?
Yeah,
Didn't he
like
have
why?
important
Like you're gonna
things
talk
to
now when
say?
you're dying? Like you could have said a lot. You could have made this a lot easier, Pikachu.
Because plot.
It would have been even funnier if they did like a really deep.
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Because I always loved you.
Have you ever seen?
I've always
Have you ever seen Pokemon parody? That video.
I might have.
the old.
That was
old
what
stick
we were
drawn-
quoting last week when I was like, "But I want
Yeah, I've seen that,
Agumon."
yeah.
And so like when he's like, "Okay, Pikachu, come on out," and it's like,
They give him the super, and they give him a super low voice. in that,
Pikachu.
yeah.
yeah. He's like it's like a crudely drawn
Pikachu.
Pikachu. He's like Pikachu.
Hey, they even make our joke too. It's like, we must capture his Pikachu.
Why?
I'm hungry.
I never caught that.
Hungry.
But this balloon is so slow. He's walking faster than we are.
Yes, he's a clever one. Then Meowth just sits there and it's like silence, and he just goes. What's the random
Oh, I
voice?
love that video.
Oh man.
That is like old school 2000s YouTube humor.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We had some pretty good times.
Uh,
It's a great
Oh
video.
man.
well, are we
Funny.
ending next? I gotta use the bathroom.
I do too. Zach Scratch, aka Slow Shark, on the mic.
I don't want to do this. I hate the show, but hey, gotta poo, so I gotta go.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
That's usually about all we get out
They
of
for-
it. and then
I know,
we
they
fall
for-
asleep, and then we
Oh.
just like fall apart.
It's always something about how somebody has to go to the bathroom really badly.
basically.
Yeah.
We basically just podcast until somebody has to go to the bathroom.
That's like-
And then we do
Yeah.
a beatbox.
Like a
That's
cutoff.
our
Yeah.
tradition. Is we.
Yeah.
Force me into it.
Well, no. This is what we do. Is we do like it's almost like nose goes. So if someone starts beatboxing, and then
Oh,
like
okay.
so obviously so like Phil jumped in,
Then
so
you're
then he's
out.
the only one
Yeah.
left.
I didn't
Yeah.
even catch on to that. I just did what I felt like should happen.
You just gave in your sheep.
I'm a sheep. I just gave in. I gave into the moment.
You're a
Team
sheep.
10, baby. Frick.
No,
now
we're not-
everybody's gonna think I'm a Jake Pauler.
We're not ending it on that note.
No, no.
My brothers have corrupted me.
Bro, one of those.
Oh gosh.
It's
Was he
more
the one-
funny because watching H3H3, it's kind of like you're doing it, but you're also like
You're doing it
because
ironically.
you're making fun of
Have
it,
you
not because
seen-
you actually think it's funny.
Have you seen the video where there's someone who like was like Jake Paul is literally an idiot, and then they like edited it so that like when he's talking, his head is like a giant bulge in it, and his hair literally looks like a bird's nest, and literally he has.
Well,
his
yeah, it's like
face-
every time he takes a pause, right? Because he's like,
Well, I think there was someone who did that, but then it was this one. They like edit it so that he like looks really morphed. Then he's just like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just like whatever, dude. And then you're just like whatever. And it's like, he's got this like wigged out hair.
Giant old noggin.
It's oh my gosh, it's so funny.
That's funny.
That dude.
Terrible.
terrible.
For the sake of all of our bladders, this was the Pop Culture Punks podcast.
You are right in there.
Thanks for listening in. Sorry for interrupting, but thanks for listening in. Check us out on
Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio.
got a whiz.
That's it.
Bye bye.
YouTube forthcoming at some point
Yes.
in the slow shark future.
Slow Shark. Be on the lookout for Slow Shark's album. What's your EP called?
Blood in the water.
I like that.
Simple but straightforward.
Yeah.
It works. And not slow at all to come up with that. That was good.
Winter 2018.
Winter 2018.
And my EP,
And
Orange.
my title track, I'm releasing a single. It's gonna be called "Just Keep Swimming."
And then the last track will be I Will Catch You Anyway.
Just like
Yeah.
I would love that, and then like Dory, just like actually is like the beat. It's just like boom, boom,
No, yeah, like
Just
remix
keep
it.
swimming.
Remixes
Yeah.
Just Keep Swimming.
Keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for
Yeah.
something.
That's all I got.
Sharks. Yeah.
in the water.
Bloody
Fish.
water.
Yeah.
Slow.
Bloody
Slow.
water.
Another one. Oh, if I
Oh,
could get
gosh.
DJ Khaled to feature on my.
For the fishies, I'm a savage.
For the fishies, I'm a savage.
Yeah.
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 All right.
We out.
We out. Peace.
Peace.